Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kirk Williamson, coming to you from the Tri-Cities Coliseum. A little touch of the holiday season courtesy of Bert Nibbs, Calvin Nibbs' dad from Bow Island, Alberta. Bert brought us the stocking caps to keep us a little bit warm here in the Coliseum. Tonight, the Tri-City Americans take on the Victoria Cougars. The Cougars, well, right now they're the doormat in the Western Hockey League, but the Tri-City Americans coming off that very emotional win last night against the Kamloops Blazers. What does that mean tonight? Well, it's a great opportunity to let down. The other thing is the Cougars have been dumping their veteran players. They have a new coach in Gary Cunningham. They're bringing up some rookies, some younger players, and they're saying, hey, guys, this is a free year. This is your chance to learn about the Western Hockey League. Do your thing. Well, sometimes when that happens, it can be an explosive combination. We'll see with the face-off and the starting lineups coming up on this Cable 15 telecast.
And now the starting lineup for your Tri-City Americans. Starting defense, number 4, Steve Day. And left wing, number 8, Brian Sackett. Across defense, number 9, Evan Nursen. Starting at center, number 19, Terry Decker. Starting in right wing, number 25,
Still there. headquarters, AA Lock and Engraving, 220 West Columbia Drive in Kennewick. And now, for the excitement of Tri-City Americans hockey, the voice, Kirk Williamson.
Thanks, Tony. Brent Larson is the referee tonight. It'll be the manufacturing company line for the Americans, Degner, Sakic, and Lindsay, with Dirksen and Jakes at the points. For the Victoria Cougars, the defensemen are Blair Scott and Dwayne Keller. Centerman is Greenwood, faces up with Degner and wins the draw. Keller will bring it up to the blue line. It's knocked away by the Americans. Jakes crushed along the boards, and the Cougars have it. They shoot it back into the Tri-City zone. Back for it left is Dirksen. Devin Dirksen brings it up along the wall left to Sakic. Sakic to the blue line. Takes a big hip check and offside, as Degner may have gone in a little bit ahead of Brian Sakic.
Number 8, Brian Sakic, coming off a very big game last night as he had a goal and 3 assists. And, of course, everybody was involved with it last night as 9 different Tri-City Americans got on the board. Nobody got into the double goal category last night, and that shows you the team effort they had in beating the #1 team in the country last night.
That's about how you have to beat them, too. Face-off, won by Degner, driven in left by Dirksen. Puck wired around behind the net, chasing after it is Lindsay. Lindsay behind himself to Jakes. Jakes' shot just levels Jeff Greenwood, but it's back out to neutral ice. Picked up by Jakes. Boy, that one hit Greenwood right in the shank, and down he went. Puck shot back to neutral ice. Picked up by the Cougars. They go left now to Shane Green. Green shot from the slot left. Tries to center the rebound. Can't, as Kolzig's leg is in the way, and the Americans bring it back. Ole Kolzig in goal against Jarrett Burgoyne. In the slot left now. Hicks with a shot. He from Portland this year. They score, but I think Kolzig scored it himself. Kolzig's stick was on the puck, and I think Hicks just slapped Kolzig's stick and put it in, Tony.
What you're looking at right there is, I've got a number 3 as Terry Virtue, and
that's
it was
Jason Hicks.
Jason Hicks is number 3. Jason Hicks was actually back behind there as Billy Lindsay tried to clear the puck out. He skated the puck and left the puck sitting right in front of Ole Kolzig. He touched it just the same time that Kolzig did, and it found its way in the back of the net, and the Americans find themselves down 1-0 at the 57-second mark of this first period.
Hicks gets the goal unassisted, unless you want to give Kolzig an assist. Kolzig and Lindsay. And the Americans bring it up. Well, just like last night, the Cougars scoring first. Now McNutt's line is on with Rennie and Nibbs. Puck back to neutral ice, and as they try to force it in, it is Americans offside. They'll face off again just outside the Cougar blue line. Victoria with really one shot on goal, one shot in an accident. Victoria, or the Tri-Cities, with no shots on goal yet.
Haven't really established a rush so far. It's very early, but the Americans find themselves still trailing 1-0.
Faceoff will come out close to the red center line. Now Barnes is on. It will be Barnes. Has Wade Smith on his left wing, and Kyle Reeves on the right. Now Farrell there, the newest Tri-City American, backhands it into the Victoria zone. Reeves races in, paces his man along the boards. Smith and Reeves try to dig the puck loose in the left corner. Smith now has it taken off his skate, picked up by by Baduki. He fires it in left of the Americans' net. Rebound comes all the way out across the blue line and out of play. From outside the blue line on the right side, the puck wound up in the Tri-Cities bench all the way across the ice, 100 and some odd feet away. That traveled about 300 feet to get there. That was a rifle shot, hit high on the glass, and then spun up over into the Americans' box.
Tri-City Americans' home record 10-2, while the Victoria Cougars, their away record 1-13.
18-19 to go, first period. Barnes wins the draw, slaps it back, and Kolzig will leave it behind the net for Dirksen. Or for Scherstenka, rather. Scherstenka, headman pass to Barnes. Barnes hits the Jets. Barnes sweeps the pass to the left side, chases after as it comes off the wall. Cougars with it. They bring it up along the right side now. Greenwood chasing after it, but Scherstenka cuts it off. Back to Farrell. Farrell's pass for Wade Smith, but he and Reeves collide, and Green brings it up. Green losing it there to Barnes. Barnes takes a hit. And Greenwood has the puck. This time he shoots it right into Barnes' body. Picked up along the wall left by Rob Sumner. Sumner, one of the original Cougars, takes it into the Tri-City zone. Loses the puck there, and Barnes has it. Barnes pulls up along the wall. Barnes being worked over by Cipriano. Barnes with it, shoots. They score! Barnes! Little pass down to Reeves. And Reeves there to put it home.
Again, Stewie Barnes, the magic man on the ice, as he takes two Victoria Cougars way up on top. Everybody concentrating on Stu Barnes and leaves Kyle Reeves alone, as Kyle Reeves has done that several times this season, just snuck right around. He did it again behind Jared Burgoyne, stood there at the doorstep. Stewie Barnes with the pinpoint pass, puts it on the blade, and all Kyle Reeves has to do is just direct it into the net, and the Americans have tied it. It's 1 apiece.
17:32 remaining, first period. 2:28 the time of the goal. Reeves from Barnes. There may be a second assist. We'll see. Puck comes loose along the wall. Levens has it. Scherstenka getting the other assist. Reeves getting his 29th marker of the season as Levens carries the puck into the Cougar zone. Now to Bowen along the wall. Bowen, backhand shot covered up by Burgoyne. And Burgoyne plays it off along the boards to the right of the net. Or to the left, to his right, to your left, as you look on from center ice, and it's frozen along the wall.
You know what they should call Kyle Reeves is Casper. He appears out
like
of nowhere.
A friendly ghost. I don't know how friendly he is down there, though. You might get some argument from Jared Burgoyne right now. 17:05 to go in the first period. Faceoff will come in the left circle, Cougar zone. Incidentally, there will be hockey on television tomorrow night. Cable 15 will bring you the Kamloops game at 7 o'clock. And then on Tuesday night, it will be this game, the Victoria game, also at 7 o'clock on Cable 15. Faceoff left circle, Tri-City zone. Barnes and Baduki. Baduki loses a draw to Barnes. Barnes in the circle, shoots it for Reeves in the slot. Picked up there by the Cougars, Zikuski. Brings it to the right side, now to Caputo. Dino Caputo, right point, hauls it all the way down to the corner. Taken out by Dirksen, and Barnes has the puck. Caputo strips it away from Barnes. Wade Smith takes care of Caputo. Now Barnes has the puck. Barnes will bring it right straight up in front of the net. Barnes cruises off to the right side. He looks like he's asleep. Check it wasn't Barnes either, it was Jakes. Tried to headman Barnes down into the Cougar zone. Barnes couldn't get to it. Puck comes up along the wall. Baduki with it. Cross ice left for Zikuski. Zikuski to the blue line. Wheels in. Jakes takes him off the play. Goes in deep into the corner. Caputo and Dirksen. Dirksen trying to kick it loose. He does. Picked up there by Reeves. Here comes Reeves. 3-on-3. Goes left to Wade Smith. Smith with the puck along the wall. Drops it off for Reeves. Reeves slaps it back down to the wall. Barnes has it. Barnes on the doorstep. Barnes is stoned, and Reeves can't quite get to it for the rebound. Or Smith, rather. I don't know how I get those two confused. Puck shot into the Tri-City zone. Talk about letdowns. Back behind the net, Farrell. Farrell brings it up along the right wing. Farrell with it. Headman pass left for Lindsay. Poked away at the blue line. Lindsay will go back into neutral ice and reset. Scherstenka with it. Scherstenka working with Farrell. Now Verkunen breaks up the play. Tommy Verkunen. Headman pass for Lindsay. Lindsay gets it ahead to Degner. Degner with Sakic. Sakic in the slot. Shoot! Blocked by Burgoyne. Scherstenka! And Scherstenka for the top shelf. Burgoyne making the good save on Sakic. But Scherstenka hits the elevator button for up. He goes right over the top of Burgoyne.
He certainly did. Danny Scherstenka, as he gets on the board, gets his second goal, I believe, of the season. Yes, it is. Second goal of the season, second goal of his career, as he was able to pick up the rebound that Jared Burgoyne had left out about 15 feet out there after a Brian Sakic attempt. And he was able to throw it right upstairs, sides it right up nicely, and hit it in the back left-hand corner, and the Americans take the lead 2-1.
Time of the goal, 4:31. Sakic and Degner getting the assist. I thought it was Lindsay, it was Deggs. And the puck shot into the Cougar zone. We got it out of play. Goes over the glass, and they'll bring it back out to face off once more time.
You know, the only thing that Jared Burgoyne hoped for on that particular one is that he was so far out of position, he was sitting down and actually stared at Dan Scherstenka, and he was hoping that Danny would just miss it, but he didn't. He found the twine in the back.
Clapstein now. Clapstein with Seaton and Jason Hicks. On the face-off, won by the Americans, and Scherstenka, or Sandwith has it, fires it in, right of the Cougar net. Burgoyne will leave it back behind the net now for Mark Cipriano. Cipriano fires it along the wall, high in the air, and be raced down by Sandwith. Sandwith being worked over from behind by Mike Seaton. Sandy goes down, but he plays it along the wall. Cut down by Hicks. Hicks in the slot. Tries to shoot it in on Kozuback, but Nibbs is there to break it up. Puck up on the twine, picked up by the Americans. Rush starts along the wall, but Cipriano cuts it off. Now it comes out to Nibbs. Nibbs, here they come, 3-on-2. Nibbs, Rennie, and McNutt. Rennie with it. Rennie down the slot. McNutt can't quite get to it, but Nibbs is there. Now McNutt from the right side goes over into the left corner. Rennie takes a whack at it. Nibbs there. Nibbs plays it down low. Picked up by Sumner around behind the net. McNutt takes his man off, but Jason Hicks has it. Hicks cut off by Nibbs. Turnaround shoot. Just wide of the net. Rebound comes off the wall. Sumner has it along the wall. Headman pass left now to Klapstein. 2-on-2. Klapstein brings it up. Feathers it into the right corner. Goes down low with Jakes. And 3 Americans there to pick up the puck. Back out to neutral ice. Keller with it. Keller backhands it across the blue line. McNutt crunches Keller. And the puck is picked up by Bentham. Bentham takes it in. Slaps it off the wall. Leaves it right for Zikuski. He plays it down low. The Americans take it back again. Here comes Levens. Headman pass for Loring. The torpedo loses it along the wall. And back into the Tri-City zone goes Dirksen to get the puck. Devin Dirksen in the right corner. Slaps it off the wall for Loring. Loring turns. He crunches somebody along the wall. Puck shot back out to Levens. Hits his skate. Bounces back into the Tri-City zone. Now up the wall left to Bowen. Bowen out-muscled by Zikuski. He shoots it back in, and Kolzig plays it off to the right to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen wheels. Brings it up the right wing now to Loring. Loring looks. Finds Levens. Levens and Bowen streaking in. Levens. His shot tapped away by Sumner as he came in to help Burgoyne. But Bowen takes a shot. Burgoyne covers up. Jared Burgoyne, and now Bowen takes a hit. Levens gets muscled around down low beside the net, along with Jakes.
Baddock down there as well. And Baddock trying to move Jakes out of there, trying to get something going. I saw him down here on the other side behind the Americans net, and they were pushing and shoving each other too. You know, this is a typical game where a couple of the Americans have got to really watch themselves, watch their temper a little bit, because they're on the verge of sitting out a game just like Greg Spenrath tonight. Greg Spenrath, of course, got his 3rd game misconduct of the season. That automatically means you have to sit out 1 game, and so he's going to be out tonight. Will join me in the 2nd intermission, but there are a couple of guys that could end up getting the same thing. Stewie Barnes.
Ask Greg what in the world he was doing last night, will you? Face-off right circle back behind the net as the Cougars play it out along the wall. Knocked down by Farrell, and Barnes has it. Barnes tried to leave it for Scott Farrell. Foot race up the wall, right side. Picked up by Craig Allen. He loses it. And it's dumped back. Nope, kept out by the Americans. Still loose along the wall. Now Barnes has it. Barnes steps over Greenwood's stick. Barnes takes it in. And offside called against the Americans as Barnes slipped in sideways ahead of the puck.
And I think they're going to call that offsides on Wade Smith, as Wade Smith tried straddling the blue line. He got the big skate over onto the inside, had both of them sitting inside the zone, and they whistled him down. You know, just commenting a little bit more on that game misconduct situation. This is a perfect team that the Americans will have to struggle with. They can come in. Victoria has nothing to lose, and they can go after the guys that have the 2 gamers,
sure,
and they can start something up and get one of them ejected or a possible gamer. So the Americans have really got to play cautious on that end of it, and they know Victoria basically is coming in and freewheeling it. They can do just about anything they want.
Well, they're not expected to win here, is kind of the bottom line to all that. Puck shot now into the Cougar zone. Back behind the net, Cipriano. Cipriano starts to bring it out for Victoria. Shoots a pass ahead, and it's cut off by Farrell. Fires it back in. Barnes wheels. Barnes and Reeves race in after it. Sumner fires it out along the wall. Reeves over skates. It's picked up by the Cougars. Here they come, Bandera. Headman pass left for Sumner, or for Greenwood. Greenwood leaving it to Terry Bandera. Shoots it into the slot. Great save, Kolzig! What a save by Ole the goalie. Barnes brings it up. Wait till you see that one on tape, folks. Backhand pass to Scherstenka. Barnes is crunched as Scherstenka can't handle the pass. Here comes Allen. Allen long distance from the blue line. Kolzig slaps it off the wall. Farrell has it for the Americans. Headman to Sakic. Sakic's pass cut off by Klapstein. Now he feathers it into the Cougar zone. Victoria with it. They shoot it back out, picked up by Terry Klapstein. Klapstein right straight up the middle, blue line, goes to the left side, Hicks. Hicks off the wall. Kozuback bats it back behind the net. Picked up there by Scherstenka, or by Sakic rather. Out to Rob Krauss. Krauss cross ice as he takes a pretty good hit. Farrell with the puck. Farrell fires it in right of the Victoria net. Burgoyne will leave it for Dwayne Keller. Big crowd tonight, a pretty good crowd anyway, but not making much noise. Sandwith plays it down left into the corner. 2-1 Tri-Cities. Puck shot out to center ice, gloved by Krauss, fired back in. The Americans clear the zone. Back behind the net goes Bentham. Bentham out along the wall left, cut off by Tri-Cities. Whoops, Degner losing it there, left to Klapstein. Klapstein in the corner. He's muscled off the puck by Krauss. And here comes Degner. Degner to Lindsay. Give and go with Degner, but just over the blue line.
One thing I'm noticing, Kirk, is that Victoria, so far in this contest, is conceding the blue line. They're not even attempting to stop the Americans' rush at the blue line, picking up the Americans forwards 15 feet inside into the Victoria zone. You're not going to be able to do that against a high-flying Tri-City Americans club, as they are able to get down inside there and develop their plays. They're crossing plays and send their forwards to the net. Victoria's really got to readjust if they want to stay in it.
Face-off won by the Americans. Krauss to the blue line, long-distance shot. Saved by Burgoyne off to the left side. Sakic picked up there by Baduki. Around behind the net is John Baduki. I believe it's Baduki, B-I-D-U-K-K-E. Puck stolen away by Degner. Degner right circle to Lindsay. His shot, penalty coming, and we got a whistle. It'll go against the Cougars. It's going to be a slash. I believe it's against Victoria. Comes at the 9:22 mark.
And that's what's going to the bench.
Rob Sumner.
The captain, Rob Sumner, is heading to the bench. Rugged guy. You know, this is the kind of guy that can win it or lose it for you. He can either win it for you with his play, his skill, or he can lose it for you with his temper. And he hasn't come up front as much as they wanted him to. The NHL would like to see him really put his head together and really, you know, take a deep, long look at what he's got to offer before they're going to pick him up.
Face-off left circle. Sakic and Klapstein in the Cougar zone. The Americans with it as Jakes has it along the wall. In a foot race with Bentham, and Bentham able to knock it loose, picked up by Sakic. Sakic gets it to Reeves. Reeves swept it through the slot, but it's knocked out by the Cougars and back into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig watches it come off the wall, and he'll leave it for Stewie Barnes. Barnes and Dirksen at the points with Sakic, Reeves, and looks like Jakes. Here comes Barnes shooting a pass. It hit Jakes right at the blue line as Jakes looked like cross-check from behind, a shot wide of the net. Right as Seaton takes it in. Jakes got hit so hard he lost his headgear. Now Barnes wheels in his own zone. All of a sudden the Cougars' blue line turned to stone. Here comes Barnes bringing it up. Barnes up the right side. Goes in ahead of Jakes. Barnes in the slot. Goes for the long side miss. And Reeves pulls it back up to Dirksen. Dirksen at the point. Jakes in the slot. Cross ice left Barnes. Barnes looking in from the left point. Starts down low. Shoots a pass across. Reeves has a whack at it. No. Reeves goes left to Sakic. Sakic back up front. Dirksen a drive. Wide of the net. Reeves turns. Backhand won't go. Jakes fights his way through traffic to get the puck out to Barnes. Barnes in the left point. Stu Barnes with the puck to Dirksen. Dirksen goes left to Sakic. Sack wheels. Head of the left circle. Goes left or right circle. Back to Dirksen. Right back to Sakic. Up to Dirksen. Dirksen a drive. Rebound. Jakes a shot blocked. Back up front, Dirksen. Dirksen goes right, has Sakic at the hash mark right. Back up to Devin Dirksen, goes left Barnes. Barnes a drive, and it's put up off the glass by Jarrett Burgoyne. 14 seconds left in the power play. The Americans have had chances. Now they bring it in. Whoop, Jakes got in a little early. Now Dirksen to Barnes. Barnes goes in along the wall left. 4 seconds left. Barnes shot. Smothered out front. Barnes wheels. Power play's over. Barnes takes a big stick. Cross right. Here comes Seaton. Seaton wheels in, shoots. Kolzig makes the save off the pads. Comes up right to Sakic. Sakic fires at the length of the ice. It'll be icing when Cipriano gets to it. He puts wood on it, gets the call. 8:23 to go, first period. 2-1 Tri-Cities. Back on this KTCR Americans hockey broadcast.
Want the best deal, but you don't know where. Well, don't blame me if you haven't talked to the bear. Get down to the Bear Facts, the real nitty-gritty. Get down to Bear Mart, you'll be sitting pretty. Well, credit is no problem if you're working steady. Get yourself there smart, Bear Mart.
Tri-Cities Coliseum, a face-off coming, and a quick shot on the face-off. Kozuback makes the save. Couple of scores, Tony.
NHL scores we've got. Boston and Philadelphia going at it tonight, and they're tied at 0 in the first period. St. Louis and Buffalo tonight, and I'm not sure. We're going to have to find out if that is in Buffalo. I know Buffalo's the only team in the National Hockey League that is undefeated at home. They're taking on St. Louis, and that's tied at 3 after the second period.
Whoa. Face-off, Greenwood and Levens. Greenwood wins the draw. Cougars with it. Out to the left point. Both teams at full strength. Cougars have killed off the Americans' first power play. Puck shot up along the wall. Cut off there by Bandera. Bandera wheels in. Can't get a shot back up into the slot. It comes out right now to Loring. Loring turns. Headman off the wall for Levens. Levin can't get to it. Cipriano has it for the Cougars. His pass cut off by Jakes. Jakes muscles with Bandera. Puck comes loose. Greenwood tries to drive it along the boards. Now picked up by Brad Loring. Loring wheels. A drive right up over the net. Rebound comes out front. Loring almost able to get to it. Now cut off the point by Jakes. Jakes takes it into the right circle. Cipriano slaps it back. Jakes is there with Levens. Puck shot down right into the corner now as Cipriano tries to wheel in behind the net. He's cut off by Levens. And Bowen there to steal the puck. Puck comes out. Loring shot! Blocked by Burgoyne. And it goes left. Sumner down low as Bowen chases it down. Bowen tries to slide it out to Jakes. Can't. Bandera there for the Cougars. Poke checked away by Levens. Puck goes to Greenwood. Greenwood takes it in. Greenwood tied up by Dirksen, and Jakes has the puck. Back behind the net. Dirksen unloads Greenwood. Puck shot back in left by Bentham. It's wide of the net. Rebound comes out along the wall. Headman pass left to Loring. Loring tied up by Keller at the point. Back out to neutral ice, and Nibbs has it. Nibbs working against Green. Now Dirksen takes the puck back. Here comes Dirksen. Dirksen left side. His shot hits Keller in the shins, and they go back into the corner. Now Nibbs with it. Calvin around behind the net. Nibbs plays it out along the wall to McNutt. McNutt with it. We got a whistle. The linesman made the call. The puck was advanced by a glove.
Yep.
As Nibbs gloved it out from behind the net. And they'll bring it back outside the Cougar blue line.
Our officials for tonight's contest, Brett Larson is the man with the orange stripes around the arm, the referee. And the linesman, Steve Murphy and Dwayne Benninger.
6:39 to go. I wonder where this crew was last night. 2-1, Tri-Cities leading Victoria. In the first period, right circle, Cipriano plays it off the wall. Back up front, Farrell. Farrell with it in neutral ice. Farrell with it to the blue line. Goes left for Calvin Nibbs. Nibbs charging into the corner. He gets smacked. Puck shot in behind the net. Picked up by Sumner. Sumner out along the wall. Quick headman pass out to center ice, and Farrell slaps it right back in. Picked up now by Cipriano. Plays it along the wall. Cut down by Scherstenka. Cross ice left for Farrell. Whoops. A little hot. Baduki almost gets it away. Now left to Rennie. Rennie left McNutt. McNutt along the wall. Left side. Shoots it back out to the point. Farrell making a nice move there to knock it down with a stick handle. And Nibbs gets it back. But offside as it's shot back into the Tri-City zone. Under 6 minutes to play in the first period here in Tri-Cities Coliseum. 2-1 Americans leading the Cougars. Cougars scored first, sort of by accident at 57-second mark.
Those kind of goals just generally get the Americans fired up even more. Like last night, that little 9-iron chip shot by Len Berry to get the contest started at 19-second mark. And from that point on, it was all Tri-Cities. And so far, that's what happened here. 54 seconds or 57 seconds. Hicks gets the goal. And from that point on, all been Tri-Cities.
Manufacturing Company line is out there with Terry Degner, Sakic, and Lindsay. For the Cougars, Greenwood, Seaton, and Jason Hicks. Face off, won by the Americans. Back behind the net, Sandwich. In his own zone, Sandy pulls up, plays it out to Krauss. Krauss goes left, Sakic. Sakic, headman pass Degner, cross ice right for Lindsay. Lindsay catches up and comes off the wall. Nope, Lindsay taken out that time by Bentham, who has seen that a time or two this year, as the Cougars will. Bonsai Billy unable to get that one off the wall. Left goes Klapstein to the blue line. A shot! Kolzig with the big glove save in front of the net. Played out along the wall to Sakic. Lays it off to Dirksen. Picked up by Krauss. Back to, or Degner rather. Back to Degner. Degner in ahead of Lindsay. Fires left for Krauss streaking in. Centered again by Krauss. Puck loose in the slot. Krauss jumps on it. No. Poked away by the Cougars. Now Jakes with it. Jakes drives it into the right corner. Rebound comes in behind the net. Burgoyne leaves it there for Keller. Keller jumped on by Lindsay. Puck loose beside the net as Sakic is hammered down by the Cougars. Puck goes ahead to Seaton. Seaton 2-on-2 with Klapstein. Klapstein around Jake, shoots. Kozuback makes the save. Puck chopped right straight up in the air. It's loose, goes in behind the net now. Cougars try to center out front. Score! Rob Sumner. It dribbled right out front, and Sumner drilled it.
What you saw right there was the Tri-City Americans trying to clear the puck out of the way, and they just could not get the stick on it to put it up around the outside their zone. As they got it out front, Rob Sumner was there to pick up the garbage and drill a slap shot just outside the left circle, and it got the upper netting and went in, and Rob Sumner, he gets the Victoria Cougars now tied at 2 apiece, and basically what you got to give that one right there is a collapse in the defense against the Americans.
Face off at center ice. Caputo and Barnes. Caputo wins the draw, left Sumner offside. Seaton getting the assist for digging it out along the wall and letting it dribble out front to Sumner. There have been no power play goals scored in this game so far. There's only been 1 penalty. Both teams looking a bit sluggish tonight in the early going. Not to mention your neighborhood broadcaster. Puck shot into the Tri-Cities zone, off the wall now to Wade Smith. Smith cross ice for Sherstenka. Sherstenka tried to headman Barnes. Goes right by him. Foot race in behind the net. Reeves. Crunch. Reeves on Cipriano. Puck tied up along the wall. Comes back out to neutral ice. Sherstenka will have it. Lays it off to Stu Barnes. Barnes goes back. Jarrett Zakuski to look him over. Barnes wheels around. Crosses with Sherstenka. Around a pick from Smith. Up along the wall. Barnes. Nice play. Barnes right. Ooh. Just overshot Reeves. Reeves tried to center. Couldn't. Puck shot along the wall. Picked up by the Cougars. Bang. Wade Smith almost dumped Zakuski into his own box. Americans clear the zone. Back into the left corner. Cipriano fires it out along the wall, but Reeves there to steal it away. Reeves cross ice, but Greenwood cuts it off. Ahead to Caputo. Dino Caputo brings it to the blue line. Backhand pass left. Tried to get it to Zakuski. Couldn't do it, and the Americans jump on it. Picked up by Barnes and Smith. Backhanded back by Craig Allen. And the play's cut off right there.
Bounced up into the Tri-City Americans box and back out onto the ice surface. So go ahead and whistle that dead.
Nice new shirt there Jim Craig's sporting down on the bench. The red, white, and blue.
Didn't know whether to look at him or look at the flag during the national anthem.
Yeah, I know it. He likes it when you salute, though. Face-off at center ice. Levens wins the draw. Levens muscles it in by himself. Works it to the left side. Bowen there to try to poke it loose. Levens and Bowen. Now Levens is hauled down. Puck picked up by Bentham. Bentham tries to clear it out. Cougars up the left wing. Out to center ice they come now to Greenwood. Greenwood loses it to Loring, but it's picked up again by Bandera into the right corner. Shoveled back to Levens by Trans Sandwith. Levens wheels. Here they come. 3-on-3. Ahead to Krauss. Krauss across the blue line. Shot. Kicked away by Burgoyne. Goes into the left side. Bentham. Or into the right corner. Bentham up the wall now. Bentham with it out to neutral ice. Krauss crunches him. Takes the puck away. Slaps it back into the Victoria zone. Backboard is Keller. Keller with it. With Loring racing in on top of him. Keller saw Loring, and Loring had him in the radar. And Keller stepped away at the last minute and let Loring wipe out against the boards. Puck shot back into the Tri-City zone. Degner has it. Degner up the wall left to Levens. Hits his skate and is taken away by Dwayne Keller. Puck's loose. Dirksen has it. Dirksen and Nibbs take it in. Dirksen has it poke checked away, but it goes right to McNutt. McNutt wires it down low to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen out front. McNutt! They scored! Dirksen to McNutt! What a pretty play.
And there goes their famous handshake, as they've worked on that all preseason long, and they said right at the beginning of the season that anytime those two hook up on a goal, they'd do their famous handshake, and they had an opportunity right there as Devin Dirksen picks up the trailer man. Steve McNutt puts it right on the stick in the slot, and he rifles it right past Jarrett Burgoyne, and the Americans are back in front 3-2.
You want to describe that handshake?
Well, it's once up, once down, two elbows together, wrist, wrist, up again, down and across. I mean, it's incredible.
Scored by number number 16, Steve McNutt, his 10th goal of the year. The assist to number 9, Devin Dirksen, and number 22, Calvin Nibbs at
17:38 the time of the goal. Puck out along the wall. The Americans try to get it out of their own zone. Now around behind the net, Jakes fires it right back to Dirksen. Comes out along the wall again to Nibbs. This time Nibbs goes cross ice right to Rennie. Here comes Rennie. Steps around 2 players, gets it in. Whoops. Lost it across the blue line as Rennie got hung up right at the blue line. 2 Cougars pinched him off right there. That almost looks like a half-court trap in basketball.
Yeah, that's right. And that is what they're trying to do, actually, is to try to stop them right there at the line. One of the things you're seeing is you're seeing a lot of ice time tonight by Steve Rennie, Steve McNutt, Calvin Nibbs.
Yep.
You do good, you get ice time.
That's it. Face-off won by the Americans and driven into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne leaving the puck behind the net for Bentham. Kicked out, up along the wall, left to the net, cross ice right to Allen, and he has it knocked down by Farrell. Back into the Cougar zone. McNutt shoots it back in there, or Degner rather, and the Cougars bring it back. Allen, cross ice pass, whistle offside. Victoria Zakuski offside. 3-2, Tri-Cities leading the Victoria Cougars. Minute 24 to go in the first period here in Tri-Cities Coliseum.
You know, coming up at the intermission, Kirk, I've got a gentleman that you know, Mr. Bert Nibbs.
Yep.
Calvin's dad. He'll be still coming up here, and I bet he's got a couple of stories.
Well, he does. He's in the Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame, among other things. Up the right side, Sherstenka shoots it in, back behind the net now. Cougars with it out along the wall. Puck picked up by Lindsay. Lindsay fires it into the left corner. Sakic goes in after it. Sakic has it now. Sakic centering for Lindsay. Puck's loose and shot back out of the zone by Dino Caputo. Into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig takes it, slaps it off the wall. It'll come out to Sakic. Sakic cuts it down for Lindsay. Lindsay from the left side. Lindsay wheels, centers for Sakic, but Sakic can't get to it. Puck goes all the way around, but Sakic has it. Poked at, picked up by Lindsay. Lindsay turns, sweeps it to the left side. Degner has it now. Degner back in behind the net. Lindsay. Lindsay tries to wrap it. Sakic pushed out of the way, and the puck is frozen there by Jarrett Burgoyne. 28 seconds to play in the period. Tri-Cities leading Victoria 3-2.
You know, interesting stat, Kirk. I was looking back. The Tri-City Americans have gone 3 games in a row have not lost, but they have not won 3 consecutive games. They've gone 2 wins and a tie, and they've also gone 2 games in a row several times this season, but have not done 3 in a row yet this year. They're on the verge tonight if they can hold on.
McNutt and Greenwood on the face-off. Greenwood wins it. Here comes Sumner up the wall. Goes right to Green. Cross ice left, Bendera. And it's into the Tri-City zone, picked up by Sandwith. Sandwith, cross ice left, just ahead of Nibbs. And they race back in for it as Craig Allen is crunched along the wall, and we get a whistle as the puck is shot back into the Tri-City zone. Actually shot out of play, so we'll bring it back. Get a new puck, bring it back into the Cougar zone, and face off left circle. McNutt with Nibbs now, and Barnes.
We'll try to have some scores for you around the WHL, and we can get James back at the studio to find out for us. Portland's at Brandon tonight to begin their Eastern tour. You know, Kirk, interesting. They fly to Winnipeg.
Yeah, they flew to Winnipeg last night, watched the hockey game, and then they send their bus back a week early. That's the way that works.
Saskatoon's at PA. Lethbridge is at Seattle tonight. Kamloops is at Spokane. We'll keep you up on that one. And Medicine Hat is at Swift Current.
Puck comes up to the right corner. Shot in by Barnes. Up along the wall, and the Cougars have it as time runs out in the first period. The score at the end of 1, Tri-Cities 3, Victoria 2. Gonna be back right after this.
close, but not like that. That's the only team I can think of right
Yeah,
off
the
top.
Stripes in Montreal are higher, aren't they?
Right. Yeah, they are.
And we're ready now for the second period face-off.
And the second period face-off sponsored by Butler's Big and Tall, the fashion source for men of dimension. Shop there this holiday season. Best Plaza, Kennewick.
Face-off won by the Cougars. Sumner up along the wall into the Tri-City zone. It's 3-2 Americans leading the Victoria Cougars. Puck fired along the wall to Jakes. Jakes tried to get it to Lindsay. Cougars jump on him. Puck chopped loose and Sakic has it. He'll play back to Jakes behind the net. Jakes will start the breakout. Jakes. Cross ice left, off the wall. Lindsay can't get to it. Cipriano slaps it back and it's picked up by Sakic. Sakic goes down. Cougars with it. Let's see who wins the period. Cross ice right. Lindsay has a stick thrown at him. Shot left. Degner. And he's wiped out. Referee goes down. Puck comes to Dirksen in the point as they wiped out Brent Larson. Puck back up along the wall. Jake saves it. Fires it back down low for Degner. Degner tried to get it to Lindsay. Puck left in the left face-off circle, picked up by Lindsay. Lindsay wheels in from the point. Give and go with Degner. Lindsay shot. No. Burgoyne stayed right with it and kept it from going in. Nice job by Jarrett Burgoyne.
Yeah, very good job by Jarrett Burgoyne as Terry Degner and Billy Lindsay playing a little bit of give and go. And it was a shot by Degner and Lindsay and Burgoyne right there to cover it up, but Brian Sakic trying to get his stick down through all the skates and all the bodies down in there and was unable to. Jared Burgoyne, I don't know how in the world he got the glove over there and covered that up, but he came up with a big save right there.
I always thought that was misnamed. I always thought that should be give and get it back.
Give and get it back. You got it.
Give and get it back. Take the shot, actually. Face-off left circle in the Cougar zone. McNutt with Nibs and Rennie. Krauss and Sandwith at the points for the Cougars. Jason Hicks to take the draw. Puck is down. Won by the Americans. Whoops. Went right under Trans Sandwith. Sandwith under pressure from Klapstein as he races back to get it. Sandy off the wall to Rennie. Cross ice. Rennie with it. Drops it back to Sandwith. Goes across to Krauss. Krauss slaps it off the wall. Back into the Cougar zone. Foot race is on. Icing washed out. And Burgoyne will play it. Back to Rennie. Rennie tried to get it to Nibs in front of the net. Picked up by McNutt. Steve McNutt looks in for the left hash mark. Into the slot he goes for Rennie. McNutt picks it up. He scores! McNutt! And the Americans with a 4-2 lead.
Steve Rennie and Calvin Nibs down mucking it up and trying to get something going. They did. Steve Rennie passes the puck out to McNutt after basically a fanned attempt. And McNutt was able to put it right through the 5-hole on Jarrett Burgoyne. And the Americans take the lead 4-2. And again, it is Rennie, Nibs, and McNutt.
Goal! Scored by number 15, Steve McNutt. His 11th goal of the year. The assist to number 23, Steve Rennie, and number 22, Calvin Nibs.
Rennie and Nibs on the assist, and the puck back out to neutral ice. Picked up by Rennie. The Dogger puts it right on Nibs' stick. He takes it into the right point, takes it all the way down into the corner, loses it along the wall. But right there is McNutt to dive on his man. Puck centered. McNutt there, fans on it once, and it's knocked away by Jason Hicks. Hicks, Klapstein up the wall. Klapstein with it, goes to the center, cross ice pass right for Mike Seaton. Seaton into the corner. Krauss all over him. Krauss hauls Seaton down, penalty coming. Krauss, 2 minutes for, you call it, Tony.
Well, I'd say we had a number of different things there, Kirk.
Hooking, tripping, something.
Flashing. 2 minutes is what's going to be the call, though.
Here it comes.
To Rob Krauss, 2 minutes for hooking at 2:10.
Well, it was a little high for a hook and high for a trip, but it was low for a slash. So I.
Well, they picked one out, and he went straight over to the box, too.
Referee Brett Larson looked in his pocket, saw one that looked good, and there it is. Power play number 1 for the Cougars.
And only the second penalty called so far in this contest.
Amazing. 4-2, Tri-Cities leading. The Americans penalty killers on the ice now. Dirksen, Nibs, face-off, won by the Cougars. Fired out by Jakes, off the wall to Nibs. Nibs back out to center ice. Keller drives it back in. Cut down by Dirksen, right to Nibs. Nibs up the wall. Nibs and Rennie go racing in. Nibs finds Rennie in the slot, just over skates at Cougars' wheel. They bring it back up along the right side. Greenwood with the puck, tries to drop it back to Green, can't, and the Americans steal it away, wired along the wall. Keller chops it back in, it gets over Jakes, and the Cougars have it on the right side. They try to get it into the slot, can't. Jakes has it as it comes behind the net. Cut down at the point by Keller left. His shot, Kozuback slaps it off the glass. Jakes is there, blasts one. This one gets over Keller and back into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne will leave it right beside the net for Rob Sumner. Sumner wheels, comes ahead to Bandera. Bandera turns, headman pass left for Green. His shot breaks Sherstanka's stick, and the puck goes down. Up to Bandera, left now to Green, or to Seaton rather, back to Bandera, left hash mark, starts in, goes left to Seaton. Back up front, Sumner, shot. Kozuback screen, but he's able to poke it away. Back up front now to Sumner, cross ice right. Cipriano goes to the right side to Greenwood. Americans with Sakic having lost his stick. Puck's loose, Kozuback pokes it away, comes out to Degner. Shot taken, Kozuback will cover it up, give the Americans a chance to regroup.
And that was a great play by Brian Sakic, number 8, as he and Dan Sherstanka trade back the stick now, as he handed it off. Brian Sakic handed it off to Sherstanka, playing down in front of Kozuback to try to keep the guys out. You got to have the lumber down there pushing away the Victoria Cougars on the power play. So Brian Sakic opted to hand the stick off since he's playing out at the point, and that was a good team play right there. And Ole Kozuback comes up big and stops the whistle, and both guys got their sticks back.
33 seconds left. Cipriano's shot knocked down up front by Sakic. Seaton tries to take it in, poked up front right. Sutton to Sumner. His shot goes to the right side. Clapstein's shot knocked away. The Americans with it, and they fire it back into the Cougar zone. 15 seconds left in the power play. And the Cougars, Sumner back behind the net, outlet pass to Mike Seaton. Stolen by Barnes, but Sumner gets it back. Sandwith is there, and he'll bring it out of the zone. 4 seconds left. Headman pass to Barnes, whistle, two-line pass, and we'll face it off back at the Tri-Cities blue line. 2 seconds left in the power play, and the Cougars about to come up short. The Americans 0 for 1 on power plays tonight. Victoria just about to be also 0 for 1.
This is the last time that we'll see the Americans for one solid week here at the Tri-Cities Coliseum as they take off on 2 very crucial divisional road games. On Wednesday night, they travel up north to play Spokane, and then on Friday they even go further north and play Kamloops in their barn.
4-2, Tri-Cities leading. Kamloops with something to prove as the puck is shot into the Cougar zone and iced. Icing the call, 4-2 Tri-Cities, back on this KTCR Americans hockey broadcast. Face-off will come in the left circle, Tri-City zone. Jakes, or rather Barnes, to take the face-off against Caputo. Back up to the point. Bentham, his shot smothered by Reeves. Goes down into the corner, centered by the Cougars. All the way across the slot, nobody can get to it. Now Jakes has it, as Wade Smith is wiped out along the boards. Headman pass to Reeves, chopped back by the Cougars. Dirksen has it. Dirksen plays it ahead, intended to get it to Reeves, couldn't. Bentham has it, fires it back into the Tri-City zone. Now Jakes with the puck. Jakes right to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen ahead to Barnes. Barnes can't get to it as Reeves is tied up. Cougars have it left. Keller up the wall. Dwayne Keller. Keller from the left side, a shot. Kozuback making the big save. Just faced that one and took it right on the pads for the save.
That's a nice slap shot by number 4, Dwayne Keller, as he has just come back off of some elbow surgery. Actually, he's very injury prone, and he's trying to get himself established back in the WHL. Elbow surgery last year, had a bone chip there, but that was a nice blistering slap shot and only had to go up high to save that one. And he throws it up, and we'll have a face-off off to his stick side.
Greenwood, Bandera, and Green for the Cougars. For the Americans, Levin's line is on. Up front, Bandera. That one hit Levins. Goes into the left corner. Levy goes after it. Takes it around behind the net. Scott Levins wheels out. Feeds a pass left side. Nice pass there to Bowen. But it's shot back in by the Cougars. Kozuback will leave it behind the net now for Scott Farrell. Farrell outlet pass left to Bowen. Bowen ahead for Levins, and it's into the Cougar zone. Icing, but Levins is going to get to it first. He's Sweeps it back out into the slot, and Burgoyne hauls it out of the air as Bowen is upended. I think Loring got him. Loring used Cipriano as a club to knock Bowen down that time.
The torpedo strikes again.
Yeah. 4-0 Tri-Cities leading the Victoria Cougars here at a relatively quiet Tri-Cities Coliseum.
I think all the gas was used up last night, Kurt.
Yep. 4-2 the score. Levens with Loring right and Bowen to the left side. Scherstenka and Farrell at the points. For the Americans. For the Cougars, Bandera comes in to take the draw. He's with Greenwood and Green. Terry Bandera, acquired from Prince Albert. Puck is tied up, and we get a whistle on the face-off, so we'll do it again. Linesman didn't like the way that one dropped. Face-off left circle. Now Loring goes in to take the draw. Brad Loring and Bandera. Loring from Hope, BC. Face-off, won by the Americans. Quick shot, taken by Levens. Misses wide, comes up to Scherstenka. Scherstenka into the slot. Levens with it. Levens has his chance. No. Poked away from him by the Cougars. Sumner to Bandera, up the wall left. Terry Bandera. Bandera feathers it into the Tri-City zone. And Farrell will have it. Nope, Bandera picked it up. Got in ahead of Farrell. Puck's out front. Shot taken. Penalty coming as Shane Green has to discard Bowen's stick. Don't think it's going to be too hard to figure that one out.
And it will be a slashing penalty against number 29 of the Americans, Jason Bowen. As the door opens up to the sin bin, he goes in, grabs his chair, and a power play, the second one for the Victoria Cougars.
That one comes at the 5:49 mark. Well, you had to know that one was coming when Green had to peel his stick out from around his body and drop it before he could take the shot. Oh, well. Power play number 2 for the Cougars. The Americans so far have shut the Cougar power play down 0 for 1, both in this period. Face-off left circle in the Tri-City zone. Jason Hicks is dumped, and Clapstein steps in. Hicks with the puck, back to Keller at the left point. Stripped away from him by Rennie. Back into the Cougar zone. Sumner and Rennie in a foot race. Sumner will get to it first, but Rennie goes in behind the net with him. As the puck stolen away by Nibbs now. Rennie has it. Rennie up to the point left. Jakes tried to put it on Nibbs' stick. Cut down there by the Cougars. And Victoria brings it back, but it's 2-on-4. They pull up, fired into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig-Leeser for Dirksen. Dirksen right out through the middle into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne has to play it. Again, Nibbs racing it on Keller. Keller steps in behind the net. Rennie goes after him. Whoops, Rennie tripped all over the net. And the Cougars come down 4-on-3. Right side now. Seaton looks into the slot for Hicks, and it's cut off by Jakes. It's loose. Shot once, twice. Kolzig covers up. And Barnes just leveled Klopstein, and Barnes may be gone.
He is gone, Kirk, as referee Larson is going ahead and escorting him to the sin bin. 2 minutes for roughing.
Well, that wasn't the gone I had in mind. I thought it was the big gone.
I don't think you're going to see anything called like last night's call, Kurt. Well, what this means now is that Victoria has a very good opportunity to get back into this game. They're not out of it. It's 4-2, but they have a 5-on-3 situation now for at least 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Well, the Americans left a guy right in front of Kolzig, who took 3 shots, and then Barnes came over, and that was Terry Klopstein, and Barnes came over and put him into the cheap seats. But apparently after the whistle, puck back in behind the net. 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 6 seconds. Puck comes up to the right side. Cipriano at the point. Goes down low now for Greenwood. And he loses it to McNutt. McNutt firing at the back into the Cougar zone. McNutt goes cruising back in there to look Rob Sumner over. Now the Americans set the triangle. Sandwith and Krauss with McNutt up front. Left side it goes Green. Green around Krauss, but Kolzig is there to fire it off the glass. Back up to the left point or right point. Now the Cougars with it. Bandera starts in, goes down low right to Greenwood. Greenwood back to Bandera at the right hash marks. Back up front now to Sumner. Sumner looks in, goes left. Finds Green. Green down low left to Greenwood. Left of the net, back up front, Green. McNutt jumps out on him. Sumner with the puck. Sumner's shot, loose in the slot, backhand block. Kozuback back up front. Shot by Caputo. Kozuback makes the save again. Kozuback comes up big for the Americans, and the Cougars have to reset. 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Sumner up front, Cipriano back to Sumner, a drive. Power play's over, Bowen's back on. Left side it goes. 5-on-4. Out front, Sumner shot, Kozuback save, and Krauss slaps it behind the net and gets rid of it.
Great defense by the Tri-City Americans.
Krauss doing his job as Bowen jumped in the middle of that. Now it's 5-on-4. Nibs almost steals that one away. The Cougars out to center ice. Comes ahead down to Baduki. His shot hits Dirksen, and Kozuback comes out of the crease to slap it back in his face. Cut down at the point right by Bentham. Fired back out. The Americans race after it. Nibs racing after Keller as it's fired back into the Cougar zone. Nibs jumps on Keller. Nibs can't get the shot away, though, as he's tied up by Keller. And here comes Barnes out of the penalty box. Americans with it. Jakes drives it around left to the point. Bentham a drive. Kozuback. Blocker save. Rennie. Headman to Barnes. Barnes up the right wing. Has Nibs breaking in. You hear him holler and stew. Barnes almost getting that one back. Now it's ricocheted around the wall. Barnes cuts it down again. Barnes into the slot. Barnes goes left for Dirksen. Whoops, gets across the blue line. And the Americans clear the zone. Shift change Tri-Cities. Nibs and Rennie go off. On with Barnes now. Lindsay, Dirksen, Jakes, and Sakic. As Jakes pulls in behind the net. Outlet pass goes left to Billy Lindsay. Lindsay to Barnes, streaking up the left wing. Barnes pulls up into the slot. Barnes goes down low for Sakic. Barnes is crunched. Sakic can't handle it. Goes to Lindsay behind the net. Lindsay tied up by two Cougars. Lindsay trying to center. Nobody home. And the Cougars have it. Caputo throwing it way up into the scoreboard. In fact, I thought that one was going to go up over the scoreboard.
I did too, Kirk. I thought it was going to go right up and sit up on top of where the numbers are on the clock.
I wonder if it can drop clear through. I know that it's open at the top.
Nope, it can't.
There is a floor in it?
Yep, there is a bottom floor to it.
Aw, gee whiz.
That'd be kind of nice to see. You know,
drop clear through.
Well, you know, they have those hockey games that you play with the little turn things at the
foosball.
Yeah, kind of like that. You drop them down through the top of the scoreboard. And go down.
What a way to face off to start the game. Face off right circle in the Cougar zone. The manufacturing company's on now as Degner replaces Barnes at center. And it's picked up by Sumner as Cougars win the draw. Sumner off the wall for Klapstein. Stolen away by the Americans. Degner to Lindsay. Lindsay out to Degner. Degner shot! Save Burgoyne. Now Sakic gets dumped.
And I think we're going to get a penalty on that one.
I
would imagine so. A cross-check by Mark Cipriano.
Well, he put Sakic in the air.
And that's what they're going to give him. 2 minutes. Cross-checking. There's a signal from Larson.
9:48 the time of the penalty.
This is the Americans' second power play of the evening. The Americans working on a 28 consecutive game scoring streak on the power play and have not really had the opportunity. This is, again, only their second one, but last power play, they were very efficient as they were able to pass that puck back and forth and take some quality shots, but Jared Burgoyne came up very big on that one.
Sakic to take the draw. Barnes and Jakes at the Barnes and Dirksen at the points now. Jakes goes down low. Dirksen, a drive, cut off. Jakes takes a whack at it, misses. Picked up by Seaton. Seaton firing at the length of the ice. Kozuback will stop the puck. Kozuback will steer it behind the net for Dirksen, and Devin Dirksen will start the breakout. Along the wall left of Barnes. Barnes with a rush. Cross ice right, Sakic. Sakic in the slot. Jakes shoots! They score! Kyle Reeves to clean it up. It got behind Burgoyne, and Kyle Reeves makes it go.
And that was a great play because that started all the way back down with Olaf Kozuback, and both Stu Barnes and Kyle Reeves lining up at the line, straight down and cross the Victoria defense up. That allows Brian Sakic to go right down inside. And what a great shot as he took, but Kyle Reeves able to swing back off of the crossover and down in front of the net and picks up the loose puck, and he shoves it home. That's his second goal, I believe, of the night, Kirk, and his 30th, I think, on the season. Yep, his 30th of the season. The Americans lead 5-2.
City Americans, fifth goal! Scored by number number 17, Kyle Reeves. His 30th goal of the year. The assist to number 4, Steve Jakes. And number 8, Brian Sakic. A power play.
Puck back into the Tri-City zone. Dirksen picks it up. And a Cougar player taking a pretty nice dive there. And we will get a hooking call. That was a great dive. I mean, one of the better. As Jakes goes to the penalty box. It was Sumner, I believe, that went down at 10:34. We'll give the Cougars their 4th power play of the night. But the Americans sitting on a 5-2 lead here in the second period. This one's been kind of workmanlike tonight. The skaters not flying, not showing the emotion we saw last night. Face-off won by the Cougars in their own zone. Left, Green into the slot. Sandwith cuts it off and fires it down to Burgoyne. Burgoyne cuts it off. He'll leave it beside the net. Rennie in to jump on him, and Rennie and Nibbs have the puck. Nibbs with it in the corner. In the Cougar zone now, he loses it to Greenwood. Greenwood up along the wall. Greenwood brings it up. 3-on-3. Sandwith goes with Greenwood. Takes him to the wall, down low. Greenwood turns, goes back along the wall to Bandera. Right of the net. Down low to Greenwood. And Krauss jumps on him. Krauss with it. Sweeps it back along the wall. Sandwith is there. Cross ice right. Rennie and Nibbs break in. 2-on-3. And off.
What? Boy, I'll tell you, they're going to get a lot of people on that one.
I think we ought to need about 6,000 consulting linesmen to help on that one.
Exactly right, as they call the offsides on that and bring the face-off outside the Victoria Cougar zone. And the Americans lead 5-2 as the Americans are trying to kill off a penalty against Steve Jakes.
Face-off left outside the Cougar blue line. Back behind the net goes Keller. Keller steps out along the wall, goes left to Hicks. Hicks up along the wall at the left point. Hicks into the slot, goes to the right side. Hicks with it, goes cross ice left. Keller. Keller in the left circle, shoots it all the way across the slot. Back out to the right point. Thurston there. Cougars on the power play. They trail 5-2. Cross ice left. Keller a drive. Kozuback slaps it away. Comes off the wall to Seaton. Seaton with it. Down low from the hash mark. Back into the slot. McNutt whacks at it. Keller has it. Shoots it right off McNutt's kneecap. And down low, Jason Hicks pasted by Dirksen. Puck fired around into the corner as Lindsay goes in with Thurston. Now Farrell is hauled down and will even things up. Tripping will be the call as Farrell goes down.
And that was great to see Olaf Kolzig amidst all the people. And a lot of fans here are probably going to wonder why in the world would Ole Kolzig take off out of his own net when the play is still right in front of him. Well, the reason is there was a delayed call against Victoria, a tripping penalty against Klapsing, and that means the Americans could come back out with the extra attacker. So Ole, being the wise veteran he is, he jumps out of the crease and he starts heading for the bench to give the Americans the advantage. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the whistle before he gets there. But that just shows you the heads-up play of number 33, Ole Kolzig.
And the Americans will have a power play outside the blue line. Sakic and Greenwood. Puck shot back to Bentham. Bentham losing the puck, goes left side. Barnes with the puck, goes cross ice left. Barnes to Dirksen, back to Barnes. Barnes goes left to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen up the wall left. Dirksen shoots it into the Cougar zone. Puck played along the wall. Down low to Sakic. Sakic, Bentham. And we got a whistle as the puck is frozen. Minute 27 remaining in the penalty to Klapstein.
Coming up in that second intermission, of course, we will be talking with Greg Spinrath. And Greg Spinrath will tell us a little bit about what's going on in his hockey life. Kind of rare that we get a chance to talk to him up here in the booth during one of the hockey games. He'll come up here and talk to us a little bit and also explain what happened last night with that situation of Len Berry. As he was trying to peel Len Berry up off the ice, and Len Berry just flat did not want to get involved with Greg Spinrath. And I can't imagine why. I can't figure that one out either, but he'll be up here and talk with us a little bit. Coming up in the second intermission.
Face off into the right circle, picked up by Reeves. Reeves in the corner, tried to get it to Jakes. Jakes goes down. Puck comes off the wall to Barnes. Barnes cross ice left, Dirksen. Americans on the power play. Sakic back up front, Dirksen. Dirksen into the slot, goes left, Barnes. Barnes, a shot. Ooh, looking for Sakic. Sliding in from the right side, out front, Dirksen. Dirksen wheels at the right hash mark, goes to Sakic. Sakic back up front, Devin Dirksen. Dirksen a drive! Burgoyne makes the save, gives up a rebound, and then dives on it as Sakic goes in right on his, Jakes goes in on his back, but just going after the puck as Burgoyne went down and stayed there.
One of the things you're seeing is that out of about the 7 or 8 shots the Americans have taken from the blue line on the power play tonight, I would imagine 6 of them, a good 60 to 80% of them, have been from Devin Dirksen, as he's lining straight up the middle of the slot and letting them rip. Devin Dirksen and his slap shot. Have they improved this year or what, Kurt?
Yeah, they certainly have. Face-off left circle, Cougar zone. A minute to go in the power play. Barnes left, looking for Reeves, cutting in from the right side, and Reeves overskates the puck. Now Jakes picks it up. Jakes, he's taken off the play. Sumner has it around behind the Cougar net, fires it out front into the Tri-City zone. Kozuback will leave it for Stewie Barnes. Barnes whips in behind the net. Barnes brings it up the right side. Barnes looking ahead, brings the puck up. Barnes will cross with Jakes. Jakes and Barnes. Barnes shoots, and Burgoyne makes the save. Barnes going for the wide side of the net, tried to power that one by Burgoyne, couldn't do it. Jarrett's got it in his pad somewhere. There it is.
Again, there you see the defense that, well, no defense. The Swiss cheese defense of the Victoria Cougars.
Say what?
As Stewie Barnes went straight through there, and he was not even touched. Nobody was even on him, and he was able to take a quality shot at Jarrett Burgoyne, and they are making Jarrett Burgoyne earn his keep tonight.
McNutt and Zikuski on the face-off. Zikuski wins it. Keller back behind the net, plays it off the wall. Krauss takes a whack at it, almost keeps it back in the zone. Now Sandwith has it back in the Tri-City zone, brings it up the right side, looks left, finds Nibbs. Nibbs across the blue line, tried to get Rennie in the slot, couldn't. Picked up by Bentham. Bentham wheels around, brings it along the wall. Krauss and Bandera tie up, but McNutt has the puck. Cross ice left, Nibbs, and we got a whistle. Roughing is the call. Krauss and Bandera continue to scramble down there, and Krauss is going to get dumped for roughing on Bandera, his second penalty of the night. Back-to-back-to-back power plays.
That's right. Emotions are starting to come on out now, as a little bit of frustration may be coming out of the Victoria team and instigating a couple of things, and that call right there against Rob Krauss was the retaliation.
Yeah, Bandera whacked at him 3 or 4 times down there along the wall. 3 seconds left. It'll be 4-on-4, and then the Victoria power play will start. Victoria wins the draw. They have the puck and the man advantage. Puck goes to the right side. Here come the Cougars, trailing 5-2. Up to the blue line left. Puck's left there, and Nibbs there to fire it back out. Back into the Cougar zone. Back for it for Victoria. Jarrett Burgoyne leaves it for Sumner. Sumner goes behind the net, and he'll start up. Sumner comes right straight up the middle. Nibbs scares him away, and he goes back into his own zone. Nibbs back to look him over. Fires the pass up to Cipriano. Mark Cipriano, cross ice right now for Baduki. John Baduki. Good hip check by Farrell, and Baduki goes into the corner, and Farrell ties him up. Puck's loose. Farrell without a stick now. As his is loose, he's trying to tie up Baduki as the Cougars with the man advantage go left now to Dino Caputo. Fires it down low. Right across the slot, and Farrell leveled Baduki one more time, which means he was not there to take the shot. Farrell still without a stick. Puck comes down low left, Caputo. Back up front to Rob Sumner.
Now 2 players are without their sticks.
2 Americans players without sticks as Nibbs has lost his. Back out to center ice. Nibbs skates over to get a stick as the Cougars break it back in, but Farrell, who's picked his back up, able to cut off the play. Now Nibbs is replaced by McNutt. Now McNutt goes into the corner, hit by Caputo. Puck is loose, but McNutt there to fire it along the wall. Hits a stick there. Bandera has it. Off the wall, right side to Green. Picked up by the Americans. Here comes McNutt. A headlong rush up the left wing boards. McNutt takes it into the corner, and Barnes is on now. for the Americans penalty killers. McNutt, Barnes, Jakes, and Devin Dirksen. Cross ice right as Keller starts to bring it up. Cougars with it. Backhand pass picked up there by Green. Green under intense pressure by the Americans. Along the wall, now Green in the left circle. His pass cut down by Dirksen. Back to Green. McNutt has it. Here come the Americans. 3-on-2. Barnes trying to skate ahead of the defense. Can't do it. Picked up by Jakes. Jakes at the blue line. Jakes takes it in. Penalty's over. Jakes shooting it into the slot. Barnes redirects it behind the net. He couldn't chip it in from there. And the Cougars start to bring it out. We're back to full strength. Victoria 0 for 5 on power plays. Jakes cuts it off the wall. Jakes headman pass left to Barnes. Barnes coming back toward him, turns. Barnes will bring it up. Barnes goes left. 5 Cougars between Barnes. That's a 5-on-1 defense. As 2 Cougars tie up Barnes, but Levens muscles his way into the corner. We got a whistle. Roughing will be the call. And looks like number 16, Greenwood, is going to get the call for Victoria.
Well, number 7, Shane Green, and number 16, Jeff Greenwood. The Green experience on Stewie Barnes down on the back board as they both double team Stewie up down there. And you know what that does? That leaves a guy open at the point. And you can send a trailer right through there, and with Stu Barnes' type of talent, he can see a Kyle Reeves skating right down the slot and just put it right on his stick. Victoria is doubling up on Stewie and leaving 2 to 3 other great guys that are on the ice unprotected.
Well, that wasn't just 2, that was 5. That 2 guys took him to the wall, but there were 5 guys watching him out there.
Watched him the whole way.
Sakic and Jason Hicks on the face-off. Left circle, Cougar zone. Now Hicks gets the thumb, and Klapstein will check in to take the draw. Puck's knocked away. Americans with it. Shot. Barnes. Off the wall, wide of the net. Comes back out to center ice. Picked up by Dirksen. Dirksen wheels. Flips the pass left to Stu Barnes. Barnes double teamed. Hicks has him, and now back along the wall once again to Jakes. Jakes right to Reeves. Reeves wipes out. Puck's back along the wall again. Back to the right point. Shot down low for Jakes. Jakes looking for Sakic. Gets it from Dirksen. Sakic starts back up, finds Dirksen. Dirksen, power play, shoots, score, no, puck loose, shot right across the slot and missed as the Americans were tied up. Now here come the Cougars, but 2 Americans back. Hicks taken down by Barnes. Barnes playing defenseman there, did a nice job. Now Barnes picks up the puck as it rolls through the slot. Barnes wheels, 4-on-3. Barnes pulls up. Shoots a nice pass across the slot for Jakes, but it's cut off by Terry Bandera. Bandera losing the puck to Barnes at the blue line. Taken away, and Sakic has it. Sakic, his pass knocked down. Top of the slot, Klapstein. Klapstein tried to center, but nobody home as the Americans tie up Bandera. Now here comes Dirksen up the left wing boards. Dirksen with Reeves cruising in. Tries to get it to Reeves. It's a little hot. Reeves can't handle it. Everybody wheels, and here come the Cougars. Klapstein back up the left wing boards. Takes a crunch by Barnes. Barnes leveled him. And here they come. Puck shot ahead to Degner. Degner can't quite handle it. Burgoyne plays it. Tony, you were looking for a penalty there. As Reeves tries to center into the slot for Degner. Now Dirksen with it at the blue line. Gets to Reeves. Kyle Reeves into the right circle. Reeves shoots a pass into Lindsay. Lindsay backhand shot blocked. Lindsay gets another poke at it. No. Picked up by the Cougars. Here comes Bentham. Bentham brings it up. Bentham to the right point. Bentham into the right corner. Degner with the puck. Tied up by Seaton. Tied up along the wall. 1 minute to play in the second period. Now Levens has it as he hauls it up around behind the net. Levens being hooked. Levens takes it into the slot, goes left. They had everybody fooled, including the goal judge, as Levens got it right to Degner, who got Lindsay, but Lindsay chopped it right past the pipe. 35 seconds to go. The Americans will rush one more time. Krauss with it. Krauss behind the net as Zakuski cruises in front of Kolzig a little closer than Ole liked, and Ole discourages that sort of behavior. Puck goes into the left corner. Lindsay gets belted by Paducki. Puck fired around into the right point. Krauss there. Krauss and Keller as Degner tries to dig the puck loose. And it's frozen along the wall.
You're exactly right, Kirk. Everybody in the Coliseum thought that was in, even the goal judge, as he's standing down there, and it lit right up.
Yeah,
nice
sure
cherry
did.
red down there.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Couldn't have missed by much, and Lindsay was right there. 10 seconds left in the second period here in the Tri-Cities Coliseum. McNutt's line comes on. McNutt, Nibs, and Rennie with Jakes and Barnes at the point. Face-off. Shot taken by Nibs. Burgoyne steers it around. Barnes keeps it in play. 5 seconds to Rennie. Rennie centers. McNutt, he fanned on it. And a backhand shot taken by Jakes at the last minute, and time runs out at the last second with the score at the end of 2. Tri-City 5, Cougars 2. Tri-Cities Coliseum, we're ready for the third period face-off.
And this third period face-off being sponsored by Mets Marina, serving the region's boating needs for over 36 years on Clover Island, Lake Wallula, Kennewick.
And McNutt's line with Nibs and Rennie is out there to take the face-off against Greenwood. Greenwood winning the draw, back into his own zone now. Starts it up the left wing. Ahead to Ben Derry. He fires it into the Tri-Cities zone. Dirksen cuts it off. Dirksen wheels into the corner. Watches the Cougar wipe out. Headman pass left to Nibs. Calvin Nibs finds McNutt going up the left wing. Drop back pass. Nibs a drive. And it's all the way off the glass back into the Tri-City zone. Foot race. Dirksen racing back for it. Dirksen sweeps along the wall to Rennie. Rennie goes down low. Puck comes around behind the net. Nibs has it. Nibs lays it off to McNutt. McNutt stepping around one man. Brings it up to center ice. Goes left to Nibs off the wall. Nibs in the slot. Nibs pulls up into the right point now. Shovels a pass down low. Turn around. McNutt tried to bury it. Couldn't. Comes back up front now. Krauss cuts it off. Slaps it off the wall for Nibs. Back along the wall by the Cougars. Krauss keeping it in play. This time it's chopped back to center ice. Sandwith fires it in. It's cut down by the Cougars. Back out front, Sandwith. Sandy to the blue line. Drives it into the left corner. Burgoyne stops it behind the net. Levens races in after it. Misses, and the Cougars bring it out along the wall. Barnes is there. Barnes slapping it back along the cross ice through the slot. Picked up now by Mike Seaton. Seaton's pass, cross ice. Comes to Krauss. Krauss with the puck. Seaton jumps on him. Seaton gets ahead of Krauss, but he goes down. Takes a shot. Kozuback covers up. We have a whistle. Krauss will go for hooking, holding, slashing, tripping.
Any of the above. As he's heading to the box, Rob Krauss did a defensive play right there. Had to do it as Seaton was in on Olaf Kozuback on the breakaway. So Rob Krauss stuck the stick out there and put the lumber either to the skates or the shins, and caused Seaton to trip up and fall right in front of Kozuback. And it was a tripping penalty. Power play number six for
the Cougars.
Victoria.
They are 0 for 6 so far on the power play tonight. Face off in the right circle. Tri-City zone. It'll be Jason Hicks against Steve Rennie. Hicks on the Portland roster at the beginning of the season. Clapstein with it. Drops it off for Sumner. Sumner goes down to the right hash marks. Loses it to Rennie and Nibs. And Nibs fires it back into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne to leave it behind the net for Caputo. Rennie dives in on top of him. He drops it back to Sumner. And Nibs takes Sumner to the wall. Puck comes out along the wall now to Clapstein along the right wing boards. Clapstein ahead to Seaton. Back to Clapstein. Clapstein blue line. Goes into the left side. Tries to get it down to Hicks. Hicks wheels in behind the net. Puck chopped off his stick. Kozuback has it, and Jakes is there to fire it back into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne will stop it behind the net. Shift change Tri-Cities. McNutt and Lindsay now with Farrell and Scherstenka. Puck shot cross ice. Klapstein. Keller picks it up. Keller backhands it into the Tri-City zone. Farrell goes behind the net, cuts it off. Stops the puck, steps out, fires it up to the left point. Keller cuts it down. Keller a drive. Kozuback makes the save. Klapstein follow. Shot blocked. Point blank. Kozuback in traffic. And here comes McNutt on the rebound. McNutt back up, top of the slot across the blue line. Finds Lindsay, but Lindsay is tied up by Keller. Can't get to the puck. Shot cross ice right. Picked up there by Klapstein, and Farrell slams it back into the Victoria zone. Half a minute to go on the power play. Back behind the net now. Bentham. Bentham outlet pass to Terry Klapstein. Klapstein cross ice left to Bentham. Sakic steals it away. Sakic and McNutt 2-on-5. McNutt shoots. Burgoyne to save. Another shot redirected. McNutt almost got it to go as they had Burgoyne in a scramble. 17 seconds left in the power play. Out to center ice. Here comes Zakuski. Zakuski's shot wide of the net right. Follows up, no, and Sakic is there. Sakic cross ice right, Jakes. Jakes cross ice goes left to Degner. Degner racing in, centering for Sakic. Sakic in the slot. Jakes can't get it done. Jakes took a slap at it and couldn't get the job done. Power play's over. Puck stolen at the blue line by Lindsay. And we get a whistle offside against the Americans.
Brian Sakic was still in the zone as Lindsay found he had the puck right at the line. He didn't see Sakic on the backside over here, and he decided to take it on in, and when he did that, offside's the call. They'll bring it back outside the Victoria zone.
16:23 to go in the hockey game. Americans leading 5-2 over the Cougars. Victoria with it. Keller slaps it off the wall. Both teams at full strength. Back into the Tri-City zone. Scherstenka has it. Ahead to Sakic. Sakic goes cross ice right. Or Degner rather. Cross ice right to Lindsay. Lost back across the blue line. Picked up by Sakic. Back forward is Farrell. Farrell will go back to his own zone. Wheel behind the net. Scott Farrell. Hasn't played in a couple of weeks till last night. He's hooked up. Steps away from the stick. Gets it ahead now to Degner. Degner shoots it in. Puck goes behind the net. Burgoyne out the right side to Baduki. John Baduki bounces it off the wall, and it goes to Caputo. Dino Caputo flings it up right point, a shot. Kozuback kicks it way up into the crowd. There's a souvenir for Section D about row 8 or 9.
Boy, that is an NHL save right there. Holy Kozuback, I'm sure, learned that little maneuver while he was skating with the Washington Capitals.
Well, like Frank Sperlin used to say last year, it's not too much worry about a rebound shot when you put them up there.
You know,
those people can't score.
That's right. Section F is, I've noticed down there, the first 5 or 6 rows, first 10 rows, they've all got those Back to the Future glasses. They've all got a bunch of green
sure
glasses.
do. Yeah, you're right.
That's great.
They've been to wear Pizza Hut. Keller with it. Plays it off the wall. Back out front. Sandwith try to get it to Levens. Puck goes loose into the Cougar zone. Reeves jumps in on Burgoyne. He fires it around, and Barnes cuts it off the wall. Nope, gets by Barnes. Green, cross ice pass left. Krauss will cut it down. Krauss with it back in his own zone, goes left to Sandwith. Sandy off the wall for Levens. Levens ahead to Barnes. Barnes and Reeves break in with Levens catching up. Barnes looking at Levens in the slot. Levens with Green all over him. Can't do anything with a shot. And here comes Greenwood up the right wing. Greenwood with it. Shoots it into the Tri-City zone. Cut off by Krauss. Now a shot taken wide of the net by the Cougars. Kozuback slaps it away. Reeves plays it behind the net. Greenwood with it for the Cougars. But Krauss there to take it off his stick. Now Barnes with the puck. Barnes brings it up. Stu Barnes brings it right straight up the middle for the Americans. Barnes cuts to the left ahead of Krauss. Barnes wheels in, pulls up short, leaves it for Levens. Levens goes in. Has to go around beside the net, and there's nobody there as the Americans is overloaded left side. Now Jakes is there to chop it back along the wall, and an offside is called, and they'll play it, face it off out in the neutral zone.
Well, it's good to see all the fans back out here once again, Kirk, as Tri-Cities Coliseum on its 13th sellout of the season. As they are, that's continuing from last year. And last year, Kirk, how many did we end up? We ended up with 22 or 3 sellouts.
Yeah.
Right at that about, and I think there's a consecutive streak of sellouts, and I'll do some homework on that over the next couple of days and find out.
Face off back into the Tri-City zone. Dirksen with it. Dirksen goes back behind the net. Devin Dirksen up along the wall. Tried to get it to Rennie, couldn't. Picked up by Jakes. Jakes shoots it out to the left point. Knocked down by the Cougars. Stolen away by the Americans. Here comes Rennie. Rennie, headman pass for McNutt. McNutt clobbered by Keller, but it's loose. Rennie shoots! Stoned by Burgoyne. Picked up by Jason Hicks. Chopped to the wall. Seaton losing it to McNutt, but it's picked up by Jason Hicks. Hicks with Seaton behind him. Hicks goes cross left. Lays it off to Clapstein. And it's stolen as the Cougars get a little too cute. Up the left side, Nibbs. Nibbs and McNutt break in. Nibbs, a hard shot, hit the pipe. Oh, that was a rocket. He tried to squeeze it in the short side, and it just hit the pipe next to Burgoyne. Now centered for Rennie. He tries to get it back to McNutt in the left circle. Can't do it. Now underneath for Rennie again to McNutt out front. McNutt couldn't get his stick down in time. Back into neutral ice, and Dirksen goes back for it. Dirksen fires it right through the middle. Rennie, Nibbs, and Dirksen go off. Shift changes. Jakes goes racing in. The Americans will get the puck back. The manufacturing company line is on. Degner, Lindsay, and Sakic as they bring it up along the left wing. These are the guys who manufacture goals. Degner, he's crunched by Baduki. Puck back into the Victoria zone. And Farrell makes a nice move to break up the play as Zikuski has a shot from about 35 feet out in the slot. And Farrell knocks him down. Now the puck advanced by well, let's see. Farrell going after a Cougar player, and these linesmen jump right in the middle of it quick. Farrell enforcing a little piece out there. Kolzig pointing at somebody. I'm not sure what's...
Well, what's the situation there? The reason the fans are all upset was the puck was still free, and they called it a frozen puck. And it was visibly free from up here.
Kolzig pointing that out as Farrell goes to the penalty box, but it will be coincidental minors as a Victoria player. Looks like John Baduki, B-A... D-D-U-K-E. Yep.
Well, Talk Sports,
17.
Talk Sports goes on the road tomorrow night, Kirk.
That's right. Where are you going to be?
We're going to be at Woolly Bullies on Kennewick Avenue.
Woolly.
And we will be there, of course, Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. Join us down there.
Watch the Bills practice. Puck into the left corner. Tied up along the wall. Jakes and Degner. Boy, was that a great Raider game this afternoon. Back to Jakes, and he fires at the length of the ice. Back into the Cougar zone. Will be icing if Victoria gets to it first. They do, as Bentham gets the call. 12:20 to go in the period. 5-2 Tri-Cities. We'll be back right after this.
I was standing on the edge of the most competitive field in automotive history. Storm clouds of confusing offers thundered in the distance when suddenly it appeared. At first, I thought it was a herd of factory cash rebates, but this was larger, stronger. The roar of thundering hooves grew even nearer. There they were, $149. Save some dough. See how you can finance a new Corolla for just $149 a month at Simpson of Tri-Cities.
Face-off in the Tri-City zone. Puck shot beside the net, picked up by Dirksen. Back to Jakes. Jakes around behind the net. Steve Jakes starts to bring it out. Jakes for the Americans goes left to Levens. Levens drops it back to Dirksen. They cross, and Dirksen will bring it up. Dirksen feathering it into the left corner as Levens races in. Levens gets it, tried to center. Burgoyne poked it loose. Levens has it again. Back to Reeves. Reeves along the wall. He gets it ahead. Now Barnes pokes at it. Barnes tied up by Shane Green. Barnes, Green, Levens, and Greenwood. Now puck comes out. Loose in the slot. Down goes Levens. Barnes with it. He takes a hit. Cougars doing some good forechecking here, and it comes out left to Jakes. Jakes tried to slam it down. Knocked down by Sumner. Sumner passes it to himself off the glove. We're not going to get the call, but Dirksen in to steal the puck away. Shift change Cougars. Here comes Dirksen up the left wing boards. Dirksen drops it for Barnes, gets it right back. Dirksen shoots, hits a stick, goes up high, comes off the dasherboard back to Clapstein. Clapstein racing down with Jakes to look him over, has Bandera left. A big drive high in the air beside the net as Kolzig goes down. Got a whistle, no goal. Puck went high up in the air and landed in front of Kozuback, but the net, I think, was dislodged. Now Barnes is over to have a word with the referee. First he signaled no goal. I hope that he isn't planning to change that one.
Yeah, that's not going to be any kind of a goal there.
I'm not sure why he blew the whistle, though, are you? Plus, he thought the net was dislodged.
I think that's what it was, Kirk, and I was keeping my eye on Rob Sumner and Kyle Reeves as they were skating back down, as Kyle Reeves had been pushed right into the goalpost down here at this end, and Rob Sumner there to pick up the pieces and try to get Kyle out of there. Both of them taking whacks at each other, and we'll have to keep an eye on those two.
11:02 to go. I haven't exactly seen Kyle Reeves throwing a lot of punches this year.
Well, not against Rob Sumner, and that's for sure. You don't want to get yourself going at it with the big guy like Rob Sumner.
Yeah, that'd be a case that you get 5 minutes for fighting and 5 more for stupidity. Face-off, right circle, Tri-City zone, back behind the net, Sandwith. Sandwith brings it out. I think the way that works is that's Krauss' job, isn't it?
That's right.
Nibs with the puck. Headman pass right for McNutt. He can't get to it. Yes, he does. Steps around Sumner, but he wipes out as he goes into the Cougar zone. He's taken off the play hard by Cipriano. Puck goes into the corner. Cougars, remember, in a ugly line brawl last night in Victoria against the Lethbridge Hurricanes. A line brawl that had the Hurricanes coach just screaming bloody murder. Left side, Sumner fires it back into the Tri-City zone. I think he used the G word, if I'm not mistaken, as Sandwith brings it back behind the net. Comes ahead to Nibs. Nibs, blue line with McNutt to his left. Leaves it for Rennie. Dogger goes in. Tried to center, nobody there, but Dirksen there to clean up as Burgoyne comes way out of the net. They lay it off to Dirksen, centers from McNutt. Can't get the shot away. Back out to Jakes. Cross ice left for Nibs. Calvin Nibs wheels. Nibs turns, goes to the wall. Takes it in along the right wing boards, trying to get ahead to the puck to get it to McNutt. Can't do it as the Cougars go behind the net. Bentham wiped out along the side. Now Rennie, now McNutt. Puck's knocked loose and finally shot out to center ice. Rennie, McNutt, and Nibs all with a chance as Caputo goes in, takes a whack at McNutt. Now, I would have thought we would have seen last night probably Wu, right? Tellier up front. Jakes a drive, smothered. Good job to save that one by Sumner, but he will pay, and he's still down on the ice, and they're going to stop the play. Sumner took that one right in the breadbasket.
He certainly did. Rob Sumner still laying down on the ice as the trainer for the Victoria Cougars, Kevin Barlow, sweeps on out there and takes a look at him.
9:20 to go in the period while they look at Rob Sumner. We'll take time out on this Tri-Cities Radio, Americans hockey broadcast. Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, Sumner gets a nice hand as he leaves the ice, and he may be gone for a while. He's limping. It looks like he was holding his knee, and he may have taken that shot right on the knee, Tony.
Yeah, he certainly may have. It does look like he did hold his knee a little bit, a little tender there. He's walked back to the dressing room. He's going to sit out for a little bit. 9:20 remaining in the game.
There are some players for Victoria who are not playing tonight. Coutelier, Thurston, Larry Wu, among others. As the Americans steal it, Degner in the slot, shoots, blocked. Rebound cleaned up by the Cougars. Krauss firing it down low. Krauss takes a big hit. He goes down beside the net. Now Sakic taken down, but it's Lindsay coming off the wall. Lindsay in the slot, shoots, puck's loose. Burgoyne diving on it to poke it away. Now Sakic gets to it. Sandwith fires it right back into the Cougar zone. Burgoyne leaving it behind the net for Bentham. Bentham out along the wall, but it's cut down by Sandwith. Taken away from him by Allen. Craig Allen losing it to Degner. Now Sandy has it. Sandwith wheels back into his own zone. He'll go back to Barnes, or Krauss rather. Krauss will bring it up. Krauss shoots a neat pass ahead to Lindsay. Lindsay goes to Degner. Degner starts into the corner. Back up to Krauss. Krauss' shot wide in the net left. Comes up to Farrell. Farrell drives. Lindsay from Scott Farrell.
And Rob Krauss will get an assist on that as well, as Rob Krauss takes the wrist shot from the point. It wraps all the way around the boards. It goes out to Scotty Farrell. Scotty Farrell looks it down and sees Billy Lindsay. A nice pass inside, and he catches Jarrett Burgoyne sweeping across the other way. And the Americans get a goal in the period, and they lead 6-2.
Lindsay from Farrell and Krauss That was a nice play by Farrell from the right point, actually at the top of the right circle. Played that one off the boards, looked at Lindsay, and laid it right on his stick.
That was a great play.
His first point as the Tri-City American. Farrell with the puck, dumps it in as the Americans win the draw. Gets by Burgoyne. McNutt into the corner. Dumps it low for Rennie. Rennie back to Nibbs. Nibbs wheels. Tried to get it to McNutt. Loses it to the Cougars. Back out to center ice. Farrell and Scherstenka race after it. Bandera coming in on Scherstenka. Fired off the wall to McNutt. McNutt in traffic. He goes down. Picked up by Danny Scherstenka. Scherstenka and Rennie go in. Scherstenka for Rennie across the slot, but Dogger can't get to it. Rennie with it. Now he snaps a pass down to Nibbs. 6 goals for the Americans, 2 for the Cougars. As Cipriano goes in and puts the lumber on Nibbs. No whistle. Nibbs with it in the slot. Tried to kick it loose, can't. Comes up to the point. Farrell. Farrell slides it across the slot. Tried to get Rennie or Nibbs loose. Comes to Rennie. Cross ice left. Farrell. Farrell races in. Farrell goes down low. Wheels right back. Shoots a pass across the slot. Shot by Rennie. Farrell put it right on Rennie's stick. Nice play by Scott Farrell. Now they continue to fight for it, and it'll be shot out to neutral ice. Farrell and Scherstenka drop back. Bandera drive. Kozuback puts it off the glass. Up along the wall, picked up by McNutt. McNutt, headman pass left for Levens. Levens and Reeves go in. Levens pulls up short. Looks across ice. Just shot it in ahead of Barnes. Jakes takes it to the corner. Jakes wheels. Can't quite get to it. Cougars have it. Here comes Bentham up along the left wing boards. Quick pass right. Hits Seaton's skate. Barnes has it. Barnes from one leg as he's hauled down. Not going to get a whistle, but Reeves there. Leaves it left for Levens in the slot in traffic. Taken away by Klapstein. He goes left to Hicks. Jason Hicks, blue line. Jakes will pinch him off. Puck goes down beside the net. Wheeling in behind it quickly, Seaton. Seaton turns at the left hash mark. Seaton starts in. He's taken off the play by Dirksen. And Reeves has the puck. Reeves along the wall. Shoots a pass ahead for Barnes. Couldn't get to it. Cougars drive it back into the Tri-City zone as Levens drops Seaton in his tracks. And Jakes comes behind the net. Jakes, cross ice pass right for Barnes. Barnes ahead of everybody. Barnes shoots for Levens. Levens tied up, can't get to it. Levens gets the pass. Cross ice intended for Jakes. Jakes can't get to it. Picked up there by Zakuski. He dives in. Dirksen is slammed down by Zakuski as they tied up. Zakuski with it, tied up by Jakes. Zakuski turns, takes the puck into the corner. Dirksen and Zakuski tie up in the left corner. And they'll freeze the play there, and we got a whistle. Roughing will be the call.
It will be a roughing call as the Tri-City Americans are being escorted. Devin Dirksen will get the call.
Well, the parents of Ole Kolzig are here. Axel and Renata Kolzig from Union Bay on Vancouver Island. Dirksen goes at the 14:22 mark. Ole's parents left East Germany just before the Berlin Wall was built. Face-off, left circle, Tri-City zone. Rennie and Greenwood. Puck chopped down low behind the net. Krauss with it, outlet to Nibbs. Nibbs gloves it, drops it. Calvin Nibbs brings it up, looking for Rennie to catch up. Pass goes cross ice. Rennie has it. Rennie wheels in. Rennie by himself goes upstairs and misses. Over the net as Burgoyne steers it up high. Now Nibbs in the corner, double team. Picked up there by Greenwood. Cougars on their 7th power play. They bring it right back. The Americans getting chances, shorthanded. Poked away. Bandera has it at the blue line. Bandera, right point, cross ice left. Goes to the left hash mark. Another cross ice pass. Nibbs breaks it up. Bandera losing the puck to Nibbs. Nibbs gets it around Thurston. Nibbs may have a breakaway. Nibbs brings it up. Nibbs a drive just to the long side. Lindsay cuts it down off the wall. Nibbs can't quite get back to it, and Bandera has it on the long cross ice pass. Bandera from the right point. Sweeps it down low, and the Americans there to chop it back. Whoops off the referee. Headman pass left. McNutt. McNutt and Lindsay go in 2-on-2. Lindsay left. Lindsay scores! Billy Lindsay right through the 5-hole.
And there is a great case of give and get it back right there. As it went from McNutt back to Lindsay. Lindsay in the circle just lets one rip. And it was a beautiful picture perfect through the 5-hole into the net. And it set this crowd up. And the Americans up another goal. The Americans now lead 7-2.
A shorthander. Now 59 seconds remaining in the penalty to Devin Dirksen. Americans getting their 7th. Boy, they've been putting them on the board in the last couple of games. Krauss getting an assist. He's had assists on the last 2 goals. Puck loose in the Tri-City zone. Chopped up in the air into the left corner. Jason Hicks goes in. Sort of discards McNutt. And they have it tied up along the board. Seaton and McNutt dig for it. It comes out now. Cougars with it up to the left point. Shot back into the corner for Hicks. And shot back out by McNutt. Lindsay racing after it. Lindsay trying to get in ahead of Cipriano. Can't do it. Burgoyne comes out, whacks Lindsay, and pokes the puck off along the wall. Cougars with it. Lindsay whoops! Lindsay winds up in the Cougar bench. And Hicks tried to dump him in. As he wound up over the wall, there's a penalty coming. And it will be against... What is that? I think that's unfortunate. Is it boarding? It'll go against... Well, Lindsay's going to get the call. As he had Hicks lined up. He missed. But that'll give him power play number 8. Charging, I believe.
Charging.
Yep.
I'm sitting over here looking at Barry and going, Barry.
What is that? Yeah. 15, 16, 12, the time of the penalty. Power play number 8 for the Cougars. Rob Krauss getting his 100th career point on that second assist. I believe that's 3 assists for him tonight, or 2? 2 assists for Krause tonight. Puck shot back to center ice on the faceoff. Back behind the net, Dwayne Keller. Keller starts to bring it out for the Cougars. The Americans continue to kill penalties. There's Krause to slap it back into the Cougar zone. It comes off. Burgoyne has to look at Rennie. Now Burgoyne takes it behind the net, plays it out left to Shane Green. And it's chopped away by Nibbs. Nibbs and Rennie. Nibbs goes after it. Nibbs in the right point. Back out to neutral ice. Klapstein has it. Klapstein 2-on-3. Klapstein goes to the left side. It's stripped off of him. Picked up, though, by Cipriano. Mark Cipriano. 7-2. Tri-Cities leading. Cipriano. Backhand pass to Klapstein. Out front to Sumner. He fans on it. He's back on the ice. Sumner, another shot. Kozuback making the save. Long distance, another one. Once, twice, chopped out 3 times, and the Americans knock it away. Sandwich collapsing in there to help Kozuback as the Cougars had 3 chances, and it was not going to happen there. Bandera, cross ice left to Cipriano. I don't know, maybe Kozuback needs to get scored on early to get in a game. It's happened 2 nights in a row, and he's sure been in a game late. Puck comes along the wall. Klapstein picks it up, goes left now to Seaton. Seaton back to Klapstein left. Top of the left circle, he wheels back. Dirksen's all over him. Shoots it across the slot, and it's poked away by Jakes and Kozuback as Seaton doesn't get a chance. Now Loring there. Loring pinned to the wall by Klapstein. 2:10 to go. Puck comes out right in front. Kozuback lets it go across the slot, and Seaton is there for the Cougars. Keller fires it in. Blocked by Kozuback. Puck's loose behind the net. Dirksen out to Loring. Chopped away by Zakuski. Back out front, left point. Goes down low, Bentham at the left hash mark. Passes out to Keller, offside, no. Power plays over, there's Lindsay, but he can't get to it as the Cougars drop Bentham back quickly to cover it up. It'll be icing when Jakes touches the puck. He gets the call. 7-2 Tri-Cities, less than 2 minutes to play. We'll be back on this KTCR American Hockey broadcast. On the faceoff, Kyle Reeves takes a couple of shots at Burgoyne, and Burgoyne comes up big. 7-2, Americans leading the Victoria Cougars. Minute 27 to go in the hockey game. Boy, the Americans have just come out and manufactured goals left and right. Cougars scored first, but then that was a mistake Hamlin's made last night, too.
That's exactly right, and then within the first minute, and on a fluky type of goal.
I don't think Ole likes that too much. Face-off left circle, it's Barnes against Greenwood. Greenwood wins the draw. Cipriano back behind the net. Next action for the Americans in Spokane Wednesday night. Long distance shot taken by Bandera. Kozuback takes it in the glove, plays it along the boards. Up the right side, picked up there by Green. Green slides it into the slot left. Greenwood knocked down by Scherstenka. Shot taken, blocked Kozuback. The Americans trying to chop it loose. Comes out to Levens. Good defensive play there by Farrell. Cross ice right, Reeves. Reeves headman to Barnes. Barnes pulls up. Bandera takes him into the corner, but Barnes doing magic. Barnes wheels in. Barnes around behind the net, tries to stuff it. Finally poked away from him, back out to center ice. Boy, can he do magic with that puck.
Oh, it's great to watch him.
Oh, it is. Back to Sandwith. I almost forget to call the game. Sandwith fires it in. Reeves with it beside the net. Shoots! Burgoyne makes the save. Jared Burgoyne drops the puck behind the net. Barnes jumps on it. Tries to poke it loose. Can't. Tied up there by Sumner. Behind the net. Comes out to Bandera. Terry Bandera turns. Headman up the left wing now to Greenwood. Shoots it into the Tri-City zone. Sandwith will cut it down with 18 seconds to go. Sandy Wheels finds Barnes, left wing. Barnes just gets wood on it to Reeves. Back to Barnes. Barnes in the slot. Shoots! Just dribbled it by the net right. Sakic gets it. Centers again for Barnes. Barnes backhand shot. Blocked once. And Burgoyne falls on it. Barnes almost shot Seaton and the puck through the 5-hole that time.
Exactly did. 2 seconds remaining in the contest tonight. It looks as if the Americans are going to make it 5 consecutive games in a row at home that they have won, and it'll be the 4th consecutive game at home that Ole Kozuback has only allowed 2 goals.
Right. 7-2, Tri-Cities defeating the Victoria Cougars. Puck is dropped, clock starts, time runs out. That's the end of the game. We invite you to stay tuned for the post-game show. Again, the final score, Tri-City 7, Victoria 2.
At the Tri-Cities Coliseum, Tony out here, and we are getting ready now to go over to the Founders Club, and Kirk Williamson, quite a contest tonight.
Boy, it certainly was, and Tom Lathan is with me here, and we have to say, first of all, that we opened up the Founders Club, so we have a whole bunch of more people in here, and they're all quiet.
Wow.
Are they okay, Tom?
I don't know.
Can you check?
Hey, we won!
Now that's better. Is that better? And just as we start to make a little noise, here comes Rob Krauss. Come on up, Rob. Rob looked around like, geez, now what I do? There you are, big guy. Got your 100th career point tonight? That has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it kind of took me a long time, but hey, I'm happy for it.
Well, first of all, they didn't hire you to score a lot of points, right?
No, they didn't. I kind of accomplished that in 6 years with Stu Barnes kind of does in half a year, so.
He doesn't work nearly as hard at it as you do, though.
That's right.
Good game tonight. Must feel good to take 2 in a row. And this was a game that I got to tell you, before the game, we worried that, you know, a great opportunity for you guys to come out real flat and for Victoria to, with all those young guys, to sort of jump up and hand you one.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's 3 in a row, Kirk. And
yeah, you're right. Actually, it's 4 in a row. Actually, it's 4 in a row, now that you mention it. You hit 4 in a row here.
And, yeah, and, you know, anytime the way we played last night against Kamloops, you come off the #1 team and do as well as we did, and you play, I don't want to say the worst team, but, you know, a team like Victoria tonight, you kind of get cocky in a sense, and I think we did a pretty good job of coming out and just playing hard, and the outcome showed it.
Let's go to Tom Lathan now and see if we can get some of the audience involved. They opened up the Founders Club tonight. We're going to do the post-game show with lots of people here. Let's see if we can get some people with questions for Rob Krauss.
We've got a question for Rob Krauss tonight.
Lots of
This is kind of fun. We moved the penalty box show up here.
All right, there.
Oh, yeah, they all did it over there. Well,
Like Phil Donahue.
hold it, Tom. Wait a minute. What happened, guys?
James.
Tony, what happened?
You're not supposed to take a break,
James?
buddy. They're in the show.
Well, stop it. Stop it right now. Cut it off. We goofed. Now we're back. We ungoofed.
Okay.
It's your turn now.
All right, here's the question.
Sorry.
Think of the rap.
What'd you think of the ref? Does this kid ask that question every night?
No.
Comes up in the booth and whispers over my shoulder, "Yell at the ref! Yell at the ref!"
I think that, you know, they got a job to do just like we do, and you know, I don't think I'm in any position to really comment on the refereeing at all. So
Yeah, he might be back.
I do it on the ice to him in person. So.
Do you talk to him? Do you talk to him a lot? I mean, I know we're in the captain's letter. You're entitled to talk to him, but do you talk to him when you're not supposed to be talking to him too?
Oh yeah, we ask a lot of goofy things. A lot of time you do it just to buy some time and get a little rest, and you know, in that sense. But yeah, we do talk to him a lot again.
I have the secret for you. I finally figured out what it takes after last night and tonight. You guys need to give up a goofy goal right at the beginning of the game, get everybody wound up and going.
No, that scares us.
Maybe that's what it takes. Tom?
Yeah, at the end of the second period, the ref had both captains out there. What was he talking about at the end of the second period?
Their team was complaining that a few of us had our elbows up and whatnot, and our sticks were a little high, and they're, in one player in general, it's Stewie, they were complaining that his elbows were up, but I think it works both ways in that, so.
Actually, Tri-Cities didn't pick up a penalty till the start of the second period. Pretty penalty-free until that middle of the second period. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. Tom, you got one more over there that I can see, and here's one too. We'll get Tom running around here tonight. You know, I just sit up here and relax.
How do you feel when you get a goal?
How's it feel when you get a goal?
I think I've got about 10 in 6 years, so I get real happy. I don't know, I guess I'm pretty happy.
Getting that 100th point must have felt pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I should have rolled my stick.
How long have you been playing hockey?
How long have I been playing? Since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
That's about 14 years, 15 years?
I don't know. I got half of grade 12, grade 6, so I couldn't figure that out.
Go ahead. Who taught you to play?
The great one, Wayne Gretzky. I watched the video.
Did you learn to walk first or to skate first?
What's that, Kirk?
Did you learn to walk first or to skate first? You hear these stories about Canadian kids, you know, in the snow.
Well, you just kind of throw the old hose out in the backyard and freeze the ice up, and skating and walking kind of comes at hand, both.
Okay. Tri-City Americans co-captain Rob Krauss. And we'll be back with more questions and talk with Billy Lindsay, who got himself a couple tonight, right after this. Back at the Founders Club in the Tri-Cities Coliseum, good crowd tonight to celebrate the 7-2 victory over the Victoria Cougars. Second in 2 nights in the Coliseum, including the big one last night over the Kamloops Blazers. With me now is Billy Lindsay. The Americans, well, we call him Bonsai Bill. He's part of the manufacturing company line of Terry Degner and Brian Sakic and Bill Lindsay. Bill, the way you come off that right wing board, you really like to go to the net, don't you?
Yeah, I like to go to the net, especially with guys like Brian and Terry feeding me passes all the time. They usually give me the puck right away, and I try and go to the net and make something happen. They follow up, and so far it's been working pretty good, and we're getting used to each other now, and Terry and Brian are both great to play with, and we've been working out pretty good together.
You come off the wall probably as strong as anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah,
You're pretty fearless, aren't you?
I try and go to the net. It's one of the things that works for me, and try and keep on the things that work for you, so if it works, I'm going to keep using it.
All right. Questions for Bill Lindsay? There's Tom back there.
Start right here.
How did you think of some of the penalties that some of the other players got tonight?
Some of the penalties tonight, I don't know. I thought Loras, I think, was it Loras?
No, it was Larson.
Larson.
Yeah,
I think Larson did a pretty good job tonight. You know, he misses a few every now and again, but it was pretty steady, a few both ways.
Would you rather have him call him real tight or put the whistle away?
Well, I think it's some of the refs have been calling a little bit too much. I think, like last night on 2. I think he deserved maybe but 2 minutes for slashing or something, but not 5 minutes for spearing. So sometimes it depends on if it's going to hurt somebody, then I'd like to see him. But if there's no injury, then just try and let it go and let us play hockey.
Okay, Tom.
All right, another one right here.
What's the hardest team you ever played?
Good question. The hardest team you've ever played?
In this league?
In this league? Yeah.
Who's the toughest here?
Well, Kamloops is good when we went up there, but I don't know after last night, but I'm sure Kamloops is one of the best teams. Definitely. They got good size and move the puck well. So,
Were they as tough as you, were they not as tough as you expected last night?
I think we really geared up for them, and we came out just ready to play, and I think I'm sure they didn't play their best hockey, so I think they're better than what they show, so we got to keep working hard to get better than them.
Well, you have a chance up in their barn next Friday. That's going to be a barn burner. Tom?
What team would you like to play for when you make the pros?
Yeah, this is your draft year, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Minnesota, I like Minnesota. They've been my favorite team since I'm a little kid, but anywhere, really. Doesn't matter to me.
Anywhere where they send money, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Tom, go ahead.
Okay, another question.
What did you think about playing Kamloops last night?
Have a lot of fun last night?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. It was great to come up 9-2 against Kamloops. We only lost, I think, 2 games all year before last night, and it's great. We got a long way to go to catch them, so we got to beat them every time we play them.
Well, you have 10 more games against Kamloops, 5 here and 5 there, so that's something to keep you busy. And the long trip up there, how tough is it to make that 10-hour trip up there?
It's not too bad. We usually leave, sometimes not. Well, the first time we went up there, we left a day ahead of time. We got up pretty good, and it's not too hard to get geared up for Kamloops in the first place, so we're usually pretty ready for them wherever, so that makes the trip a little easier.
Tom has another question.
Played for in the other division that you were in?
I played Tier 2 hockey last year for the Vernon Lakers of the BCJHL.
How old were you when you started playing hockey?
5 or 6, I think.
What got you interested in playing hockey?
Well, my parents are Americans, and they just moved up to Canada, and that's what everybody's doing in Canada, so I guess since there's no football or baseball to put me into, they decided to put me into hockey.
Did your folks worry that maybe hockey was a little too dangerous for you, too physical?
I don't think they knew much about it when they came up to Canada, and
snuck up on it.
As the years progressed, they just went with it, and they like it.
Okay, Tom?
What do you think about the fights, when the fights break out on the ice?
Fighting's just, I think it's part of the game. Lots of times big injuries don't occur because we got so much equipment on. Guy gets hit in the face every now and again and gets cut open for a few stitches, but it ain't too bad. Well, there's usually you got your guys that fight and don't fight, and the guys that fight are pretty used to it.
Last 2 or 3 games have been pretty much hockey and very little boxing.
That's true. That's been very little.
All right, question right here.
Another question back there?
Do you have a hockey idol, and if you do, who is he?
I like Mark Messier and Steve Eisman. Mainly Mark Messier because he goes to the net well, and he's a good, tough hockey player. I like him.
Okay, Tom, maybe one more question here for Billy Lindsay. Let's see. We're coming to you live from the Founders Club. And then, Tom, there's one way back over here. This young lady has a question, too.
Okay, after losing Stu and Spinrath, what kept the inspiration up and the attitude going and kept it fired? Any special thing?
Terror.
After losing Stu and Spinrath, we had to get geared up for him. Anytime you lose players of quality by Stu's caliber and Spinner's caliber, you can't rely on them no more because they're not there. And sometimes I think maybe we do rely on Stu a little bit, and the guys realized we had to pick it up for him, and everybody just came through, and I think we got 9 different goals from 9 different guys, and I think it was the best all-around game we played all year.
Maybe that's a lesson that you can take with you into other games, and probably a lesson that you took with you tonight is that it doesn't have to be number 14 doing it all.
No, we got a good team solidly through, and the addition, if we play like that every night and add Stu Barnes to the lineup, we're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Okay, back to you, Tom.
Okay, how do you think you're going to get the defense to start playing more consistently?
Well,
hadn't been too bad the last couple of nights.
Yeah, our defense hasn't been too bad the last couple of nights. When the forwards come back and help them out, it sure makes it a lot easier for them. Lots of times, I know we just got 3 guys cut down deep, and they had 3-4 guys coming on 2 defensemen a lot of times, and forwards weren't giving them much help all the time, and they just made a few mistakes, but I think they played great for us last 3 games, and Ole's really starting to come through for us.
Does he need that early flurry to get him into the game, you think, Bill?
The early flurry?
Yeah, like the couple of first-minute goals that we've had in the last 2 games?
I don't know. It's just,
I know it makes them mad.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just something that happens, but no. We just come out and I think we've had a couple slow starts, but last 3 games have been pretty good 60-minute games all the way through.
Billy Lindsay, we'll be back to talk with Tri-City Americans coach Rick Kozuback right after this from the Founders Club.
A master of the sweet science versus the hands of stone. Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran are ready to rumble one more time. Duran won the brawl in Montreal, then Sugar crushed the hands of stone. December 7th, Top Rank presents Leonard Duran 3. To order this pay-per-view event, call your cable system.
The end of an era. After 36 years, New Era Furniture is quitting business forever. Save 30 to 70% on 3 floors of furniture. Save on dining room sets, bedroom sets, recliners, desks, entertainment centers, and more. Absolutely everything on every floor must go. It's the end of an era, but the beginning of the greatest furniture sale in 3 decades. Save 30 to 70% right now. Financing available. Visa and MasterCards welcome. New Era Furniture, Clark Street, downtown Pasco.
Back in the Founders Club in Tri-Cities Coliseum, Kirk Williamson and Tom Lathan, and joined now by Americans coach Rick Kozuback. And this was a game I know that you worried about a little bit before the game, the possibility of maybe being a little flat.
Well, we were very concerned about the game. I think we were more concerned as the first period started and progressed, and then when the first period over, I think we really had some concerns. It's really difficult, and I'm not trying to belittle any team, but it's really difficult to play the best team in the nation one night and beat them convincingly and get psychologically prepared to play the worst team in the nation the next night when you know that you've just come off a very emotional victory and you had to play really hard against the best team. And so for our guys, I know that we knew going in it was going to be difficult. Whether they believed it or not, I think was a different story, but we knew it was going to be tough. And in fact, it was. It was a grind, and it was not a pretty game to watch. It was, we made the comment many times, like watching paint dry. They weren't very exciting at all, and we sort of felt it was going to be that way.
The tempo of the game seemed a lot slower. Victoria didn't want to rush up and down the ice, and our guys seemed pretty well content to let it be that way for a while.
Well, again, our guys, if you don't challenge them, most often they don't rise to the occasion. We play the very best when somebody really forces us, or when we have the ultimate respect for a team. We played really well, I thought, against Seattle because we knew that they were a good team. We had respect for them. We played really well against Kamloops because they had respect. We played well against other teams because they challenged us. On the eastern swing, I mean, when Medicine Hat came at us and hit us hard for the first period, our guys rose to the occasion and played really well. Same thing in Prince Albert. They played really well when they were challenged. Those are the 2 variables. If you don't wake us up, we seem to lay in bed and sleep.
Let's see if Tom Lathan has someone with a question or 2 for Coach Rick Kozuback.
Is Bill Lindsay under that mob? We're going to have to assess a boarding penalty here. Pretty look at that. All right, there's a question for Coach. Let me see if I can get around back there. Meet me halfway here. I feel like Phil Donahue.
We're coming to you live from the Founders Club in Tri-Cities Coliseum. Tom, go ahead.
I was really interested to see Scott Farrell in the lineup from our old Spokane buddies there. What was the trade for Scott Farrell?
Scott Farrell's situation was he was fairly unhappy originally in Spokane and had been dealt to Lethbridge. And in the process of going to Lethbridge, he actually did play a couple of games in Lethbridge, but wasn't very happy there, and returned back to Spokane and was available. And through the efforts of Al Patterson particularly and Ron Dixon, they were able to convince the Spokane people to release him to us. I'm not at liberty to say who we had to release for him, but it wasn't a player on our roster at this time. It's a player on a protected list that we felt we could move at this time.
All right, Kirk, another question over here.
How do you decide which goalie is going to play the game?
That's a good question.
Which goalie is going to play in which game? Yeah. Primarily, we're going with the person who has the hot hand. At this particular time, because our team had been sort of in in the doldrums, we felt we needed to stick with the guy who was playing the best. Donnie Belishin has played very well up until this point, but Ole got hot. We thought he got hot and started to play really well, and once he got going, it sort of seemed to pick up the rhythm of the team. So at this point, we're saying we're probably going to go with him for a little while yet, but that's not to say that Donnie Belishin isn't going to play tomorrow or Wednesday in Spokane. At this point, we're going with Ole for one game at a time. We play it one game at a time, but if there's a breakdown at any moment, we're going to, we don't have any hesitation in switching.
How do you feel when a player gets a game misconduct?
Well, obviously we don't feel very good because it takes a player out of our lineup, and I don't know if you're familiar with the rule, but the rule is if you accumulate 3 game misconducts, then the next, at the point at which you accumulate 3 game misconducts, you have to sit out a game. So Greg Spenrath's sitting out 1 now. Danny Scherstenka had to sit 1. We've got a number of guys that are very close. When you get your next game misconduct, you sit out 2 games. You get your next one, you sit out 3, and it's progressive. So we're at a critical point. We don't like at all the fact that some guys are at a real tough position. If Stu Barnes is at 2, as I said, Danny Scherstenka's already got 3. If he gets another one, it's 2 games. So we don't like it very much.
What is the worst and the best ref you've ever?
The worst ref and the best ref we've ever had?
Might be this. Could it be the same guy, Rick?
Yeah, very well may be the same guy. That's a good way to answer that. I'm not sure that. I'm not sure I can answer that. A lot of times I don't say favorable things about the referees and probably shouldn't say anything. So we've had some good officials. We've had some games where the officials are like our players, forget to come prepared for the game, and just like the rest of us. So I'm going to say the referees are capable of making mistakes like anybody else.
Rick, would it be fair to say that the referees, the regular Western Hockey League referees that we see in here 4 or 5 times a year or more, are more likely to be good, consistent referees than people that they bring in from another league?
Yeah, I think so. That's a very fair statement. Those people at least have been in the league. They know the players. They see the same faces time after time. The players know how to respond to their calls, and there's less variable. Yeah.
Tom?
When the Americans win a game like they did last night to a #1 team, do you think they sometimes get their hopes up too high and kind of slack off in some of the games and think, oh yeah, we'll win again like that, like they did last night?
Well, I think that tonight was one of those games where they thought they had a real good game last night, and they did, and then they just can't psychologically get ready to play the next night. That's a real good point.
How long have you been a coach?
15 years. Sometimes you'd never know it, but I feel it.
I would like to know why Colin Ruck hasn't been playing and what happened to Vandersloot.
Colin Ruck, we're at a position where we have 8 defensemen right now, and very much the same as with our goaltenders. We're playing the guys that we feel have actually played the very best. Colin has played really well up until this point. He had 1 bad game in Portland, and we've unfortunately had to make a substitute, and then we put Scotty Farrell came in, so we played him a little bit more. But that's, again, it's not saying that he isn't capable of playing and won't play. It just, we were going with the guys that were hot at that particular time. Adrian Vandersloot was released from the team on Monday, and he's gone to play Division II or Division III semi-professional hockey in Holland.
Coach, I'd like to just make one comment, not a question. I would like to say that here in the Tri-Cities, I think we've got some of the finest fans after being on the Eastern Swing in the whole league. And if we can just bottle that up and send that along with you on these trips, I think we're going to win. And I think we're going to go all the way and take the Memorial Cup.
I hope so.
It sure was nice on the Eastern Swing to have a busload of fans show up at those 5 games. Right?
It's fantastic. We really do. I think there's no question we have the best fans in the league, and we're proud to be here and hope that we can bring something good to the area.
Got time for a couple more questions for Americans coach Rick Kozuback.
When Stu gets penalized, what do you feel like?
Choking him? Oh, no.
Well, when he gets penalties, we feel the same way with him as we do with anybody else. First of all, I have to understand why he got the penalty. If it was his fault, then we obviously don't feel very good. Sometimes it's not always his fault. Good players attract a lot of attention, and sometimes the referees are more prone to look at the kinds of things that they do. So sometimes we get mad at him. Other times we turn the other cheek and try to brush it off. So it varies. You know, I don't like to see him in the penalty box because when he's in the penalty box, he can't play the offensive game for us.
Rick, there was a point in tonight's game that might illustrate that, where a guy got behind Rob Krauss, starting right straight in on Ole Kozuback with nobody else there, and Rob turned, and about all he could do was haul the guy down, and he did that rather than give him a free shot on a goaltender.
Right, and those things happen. You know, sometimes there's a miscue, and rather than allowing a complete breakdown and letting them go to the net, and a lot of times that's just what they call an allowable or a good penalty. I'm not really sure that the word good should apply, but that is one of those.
How are you guys going to improve on your road games?
Have more fans on the road, more vocal people, and and hope that the other team forgets to show up.
Well, there's a good chance Wednesday night in Spokane, in the Spokane Coliseum. Coach Rick Kozuback, thanks for joining us tonight in the Founders Club Lounge. Tom Lathan, thanks to you.
Thank you.
We'll kind of look forward to doing this maybe next Sunday night when...
it's a good question. I don't know either.
Whoever it is, we'll beat them.
That's right. And again, the final score, the Tri-City Americans beating the Victoria Cougars 7-2, wrapping up a weekend of wins over the Bats.